shooting the ball well, so it's helped me out.
Marriage is not only working off the court for Bruce Baker, it's made him a better player on the court. The 6'7" junior was a pleasant surprise in the Great Alaska Shootout for UAB. Had 12 points in a game against Michigan. Despite the loss, though, Baker still opened some eyes.
This year, last summer, I worked on my passing game a lot. I've been trying to dish a little bit more, and I'm being a little bit more conservative on my shot. But if I'm open, you know, I'm going to try to stick the three-pointer.
Plagued by injuries most of his career, Baker right now is nursing a hamstring pull. His status against Bethune-Cookman and the Blazers' home opener in the Coliseum tomorrow night will be monitored up until game time. Baker is a gamer, though, and with marriage now under his belt, he's seeing the positive, and UAB has become even more talent-laden with his inspired play. Okay, let's take a look at the UPI Top 20 in college basketball, North Carolina.
Acrobatic player. He plays with great intensity. He's one of my favorite players, but he's going to have to hit that open jump shot today because they will sag inside on Ronnie Cycling.
And most of the scoring for the Blazers comes off the bench. Eddie Collins, for example, had 16 points yesterday.
Well, he's a big, strong inside player, and he becomes very important, especially with the front line of Cycling and Coleman. They'll need a big game from Collins on the interior. He's a kind of player that can get Cycling into foul trouble.
The winner of this game will be headed for the championship game. That will be coming up on Monday here from Anchorage, Alaska. And the winner to take on the winner of a game that follows a little...
A 9-point edge at halftime here at Sullivan Arena. One of the officials said the reason they left the court without making the change was because they knew they had a correctable error. They would take care of it before the second half began. They have done that. They have acted properly. Shooting percentage is better for UAB, but Michigan still shooting about 53%. That's a little better than they did in the first two games.
Well, they're getting better shot selection. On the other side, though, they're not doing as good as a job defensively to take away UAB's shot selection, shooting 45%. As we look here at the three-point field goal percentages, 1 for 2 and 2 for 3 for Michigan. Not really a major factor. UAB on the free throw line, 9 for 10. Larry Rembert doing a great job inside, getting fouled. Michigan only 5 for 10. Rebounds, 19-9. Michigan dominating on the glass. Turnovers, UAB with 11. Expected because they do not have great backcourt play.
Larry Rembert leading the Blazers in scoring with 13 in the first half. Michael Charles off the bench with 9. The leading scorer, we mentioned, Glenn Wright. A 14-point first half for him, helped out by Rumeal Robinson. But Rumeal Robinson scored his points early. Now, one more time, he is clearly inside the line. He clearly got the shot up. It was corrected. So as we begin the final 20 minutes of play, it is a 9-point lead for Michigan. Their biggest lead in the first half was a 13.
See, Gene Bartow went over to the sideline, and he requested, and there's 5 reasons why you can have a correctable error, and the referees acted in good judgment right there, and number 1, made the adjustment, and we have what should be the score, 39-30, and it's accurately done. Congratulations to Dick Ball and his staff. Dick Ball referees in the WAC conference.
And Gary Spadal is the other official, along with Belvis McCadden, so they made the right decision. UAB opening with the basketball in the second half. We're underway. The winner finishes third. The loser winds up fifth in the Great Alaska Shootout. And the first turnover of the second half will give the ball to Michigan.
We talked so many times about the first 3 minutes after the half starts. Very important time for UAB right now. They have to deny a spurt by Michigan, or Michigan can let this game, put this game away. 2-3 zone. They're going to see so many zones, Michigan, all year long.
Rice from the side. Starts the move, but spins out. Brings it back to Grant.
They missed Terry Mills. He was posted beautifully inside, but they didn't make the entry.
Robinson lost his pivot foot, saved the basketball. Rice winds up with it. We've played 45 seconds of the second half. Rice from outside with 10 seconds on the shot clock, and Rice gets the three-pointer. So Glenn Rice now with 17 points in the game.
Well, he's got that area code jump shot. He's got great range, but I still think that they got to get the ball inside more. Mills was doing a much better job moving without the ball, but it gets frustrating when you don't get it.
Bearden gets it to Rembert along the baseline, missed the shot. Collins with a follow, stuffed by Mills. Rembert now again along the baseline, lays it in.
He's so quick with the basketball. Once he gets the ball, he is so quick to the goal.
Rembert now with 15 points. It's a 10-point lead. Grant from the side. Rembert to rebound.
Not a good play by Gary Grant. Again, they had Terry Mills sitting on the post, and there's no entry to the inside.
And not a good play there to pick up the foul. That's the first for Grant, but out of frustration for the missed shot, he picks up the foul.
Has not played like an All-American in this tournament at all, John. I mean, you got to be honest about it. He's got a world of ability. There are all kinds of scouts here Don Nelson, George Irvin, the list goes on and on. They're all here to see Mr. Grant and a host of other great players that are participating, but he hasn't played like Gary Grant.
He had 21 on Friday. Did not play that well on Saturday, only 7 points for him. And Grant yesterday was 3 for 14. He is 1 for 4 this afternoon. Collins a little bit short, gets it back. Knocked away in the lane, and Grant will pick up his second foul.
He's in a new role right now, playing without guard Thompson, who was a tremendous long-range shooter for Michigan last year, a player that had a lot of poise. And Antoine Joubert was an experienced player and a good passer, but now they're asking Gary Grant to do much more.
Of course, now you've got Robinson with him. He likes to penetrate, as Grant does, so it changes a little bit.
Yeah, his style of play is different. He's got to get used to playing with Ramil also.
Michael Charles on a good feed from Bearden. So Michael Charles with 11 points. They cut into that edge. It's now an 8-point lead, 42-34.
UAB's got some really good athletes, especially along the baseline. 2-3 zone right now.
Grant in the lane, missed the shot, gets it back, lays it up and in.
Good effort right there by Gary Grant. He slid right behind the front two, got into the lane. But this is where they got to make things happen. Ramil and Gary have to do a better job trapping the ball.
They try to trap Bearden. They can't. Charles with it. Turner from deep in the corner. It's short. Rembert high for the rebound. He gets the shot and he's fouled. 3 fouls in a row on Grant.
I'll tell you one thing, John. I think this kid has, as I said earlier, tremendous potential. I think Larry Rembert, we're seeing the real kid. Last year he made the All-Sun Belt Conference rookie team, but really didn't produce like his reams and reams of ink coming out of high school. But today we're seeing Larry Rembert really perform.
Closing in on his career high, that is 19, and if he makes this foul shot, he'll have 18. Still 17 minutes and 30 seconds left to play in the game. He does not get the roll. Loose basketball. They go to the court. Turner is tied up. Michigan will get the basketball.
Syracuse really dominated yesterday also against UAB. I thought Syracuse played an outstanding first half. Sherman Douglas played beautiful basketball. Stephen Thompson plays exceptionally hard. And Derek Coleman was a star. 19 rebounds. And certainly Ronnie Cycli's presence, even though he was upset he didn't get the ball a great deal, he did a great job by being inside as an intimidator.
Ramil Robinson at the top of the circle, 17-12 to play in the game. The lead 8. Jump hook is good by Hughes. A nice strong move by Hughes.
He's improved, as has also Lloyd Vaught. I think Vaught and Hughes give him some solid play in there, especially when you look at their 4th or 5th option on the offensive end.
Bearden working against Ramil Robinson. That's 4 points in the game for Hughes. Turner looks to Rembert. He's fronted by Hughes. Charles for 3. It is Charles with a 3-pointer. Michael's second of the game. He has 14 points. The lead is down to 7.
He's playing with a lot of confidence. He's a very experienced player and a good defender, very quick player.
Charles already 7 3-pointers in the first 3 games of the season. 16 minutes and 30 seconds to play in the game. Grant from the side for 2.
He must have heard me, John. He must have heard me. Maybe he's wired up for sound right now and heard me talking about the fact that he hasn't played like an All-American in this tournament.
Robinson is limping off for Michigan. Taking his spot will be Mike Griffin. Griffin into the lineup. Ramil Robinson limps off. That's the reason that play was stopped. The basket for Grant gives him 7 points so far in the game. And Robinson's going to go to the locker room, it looks like. Collins deep in the corner. Rembert right through his hands, but it's saved by Bearden. Here's Collins. Spin move along the baseline, gets the basket.
That's a power move. That's what Gene Bartow was talking about before the game, that he wanted to get Collins on the blocks inside. There he is locking inside. Look at the post number 31. And nobody rotates over. Mills comes over, but a step too slow. Michigan has to do a lot of work in their help defense.
The foul was charged to Hughes, his first. 4th team foul. The lead down to 7, could be 6 as Collins tries to and does complete the 3-pointer. So Collins picks up the 3-point play. The senior from Marion Junction, Alabama, has 5 points in the game. It's 48-42, 16:08 to play.
I think Gene Barthow's finally found a backcourt that could be effective. Play Bearden at the point, let him get his confidence, play Charles as your off guard, and go with those two. Play Reginald Turner as your wing player. I told him today, I'm going to make your lineup out, Gene. He said, come on, Dick, help me out. I said, help you out? You're going to the Hall of Fame. I'm in the Hall of Shame in coaching. I got fired.
Griffin looks low. turnaround is rolling in. Good strong move that time by Lloyd Vaught, who is 4 for 4. He's hit everything he's thrown up there.
I like Vaught and Hughes. Talked about them a little bit earlier. I think they're very effective players down on the inside.
Bearden gets it low. Turner at the top of the circle. Now Bearden swings it to Charles. Picked up by Griffin. Collins again along the baseline. Tried to go up, could not. Lost the ball. Hughes has it. Here comes the general, Gary Grant. Slows it down until Hughes can catch up. Rice, who's had a big ball game. Grant at the top of the circle. Griffin. Here's Rice from the corner. It rolls out. Strong rebound by Collins. Michael Charles comes back for UAB. A chance to cut the lead to 4. Charles along the baseline. Jump shot is going to be short. Chased down by Griffin. Gets it ahead to Grant. It's a 2-on-2. Grant. Lane jumper good.
Gary Grant from out of McKinley High School out in Canton, Ohio. Phil Hubbard, who was a tremendous player with Ricky Green back in the mid-'70s for Johnny Orr.
That was a big turnaround, Dick. The chance to cut it to 4. Now all of a sudden it's back to 10.
Yeah, it was a 4-point turnaround right there.
Bearden penetration. Missed the shot. He's fouled from behind.
He just needs to make a few good players, John. Once he makes a few good plays, you're going to see this kid's confidence go up. He was an outstanding high school player coming out of Birmingham, Alabama. He did some solid playing last year as a role player, but this year has not won the job.
Has not scored in the game. Has only 2 points on the season. That is not his job, though, to score. His job is to make sure that the people like Collins, Rembert, Turner, and Charles do score.
He played at West End High School out of Birmingham, the same school that also Charles played at. Charles, a senior, he's a South.
Makes them both. So Bearden is able to convert twice from the foul line. We have 14:31 left to play in the game. UAB is hanging in right now. It's Michigan 52, Alabama Birmingham 44 at the Great Alaska Shootout. Strong board play by UAB. Watch him inside.
Well, see, nobody blocks out. Freeze it. See how he's got inside position. There's Gary Grant, 25, but somebody missed an assignment. Nobody blocks out on Rembert. The first rule in rebounding is that you don't go for the ball. You go for the man. And there's Rembert with the quick move inside. He gets a little deflection. Now watch the block by Mills. Now watch this right around you. So get inside position. Freeze it. See, he goes right around you. He gets inside position now on that baseline, and that's an easy layup. I can make that layup on that power move. You saw me before the game.
I saw you before the game. UAB's picked up the shooting, now at 46%. Michigan shooting 56% so far. Rembert leading the scoring for UAB with 17. Michael Charles has 14. Glenn Rice with 17 to lead the scoring for Michigan. 14:20 left in the game. It was a 9-point halftime lead. Right now, Michigan in white, up by 8. Rice, low to Mills, back outside for 3. No, 2. It is a 2-point shot for Grant. Grant has 11. He's starting to heat it up a little bit in the second half.
He's playing much better here in the second half offensively. Defensively right there, he gets beat by Bearden. Remember, we're talking about the Big Ten Player of the Year defensively, Gary Grant.
Knocks it away. Grant has picked up 3 fouls in the second half. Baker is back in the lineup at a guard. Turner with the ball. Gets it to Baker. Baker picked up by Griffin. 54-44, Michigan by 10.
Both teams really playing with one guard. Griffin's playing the second guard by definition, but he's not a true guard, and either is Baker.
Rembert in the lane, it is blocked, rejected by Vaught and Hughes. Griffin dives, but Baker has it. Now Rembert against Hughes, spins off the glass, it's no good. Collins again, strong. No basket.
Collins and Rembert are going to really cause some havoc in the Sun Belt Conference. Remember, as I was telling Gene Bartow, he's not going to be facing Syracuse and facing the likes of Michigan every day. Look at these two horses working the glass. There is Collins, big, strong, tough, tenacious. Right here. What a way to get a little baptism playing Syracuse and Michigan early like this is really going to help them a tremendous.
Vaught has 4 personal fouls, 13:20 left in the game. Michigan by 10. The Blazers of UAB have the basketball. They've been looking up at the wrong end of the scoreboard since it started.
That's going to help you become a better team in terms of Bartow's team, John, by playing the kind of caliber of competition they're facing right now.
Foul line jumper by Rembert is good. Rembert now with 19 points. That matches his career high. They slice into that lead again. It's 54-46. Just under 13 minutes left in the game.
Michigan can't put the Sugar Ray Leonard knockout punch. They really keep UAB hanging in there. And remember, Baker's a tremendous three-point shooter. He drills one or two of those. Great pass.
Good feed to Bott, and Loy lays it in. He has 10 points. He is 5 out of 5 from the field.
Good look right there by Rice. Went right through the defense. He got into a seam, got it into the gut of the defense, and they converted and scored.
Penetration by Bearden down the lane, up and in, and he's fouled. So Bearden got the lane that time and took it all the way in.
He's going to be the key to this basketball team. You can have that beautiful Rolls Royce, but if you don't have the engine to make it go, they're looking for a little engine. Here he goes, right to the goal.
And Sean Higgins, the freshman, caught him right there. Was Bearden happy? You bet.
Well, he's happy, John, but if I were Bill Frieda, I'd be disappointed again because it's all right a guy beats the first guy out front, but there's no way he should have an unmolested driving lane to the goal as Bill Frieda converses with his staff.
Bearden a chance to cut it to set 8. Can't do it, but a rebound by Rembert. That will count. He's fouled.
They're just out hustling him, John. They're out scrapping, out hustling Michigan on the glass. Rembert and Collins are kicking their rear ends up on the glass.
And Terry Mills picks up the foul. So Mills right here as Rembert goes right back up. Boy, he's so good, Dick, at just going right back to the basket. He doesn't hesitate.
Yeah, he's got that quick acceleration. You know, Michigan has a little tendency to be a little cool at times on the floor rather than play with some emotion and some intensity. I was telling Bill today, I even saw it against Arizona. Each kid is waiting for the next kid to pick up the team, and rather than just play with that intensity and play with that aggressiveness.
A career game for Rembert, 22 points. The lead is down to 5. From deep in the corner, Rice answers for 2, so Rice continues to score. He has 19 points.
He's playing an excellent game, both rebounding. He made a great pass prior in their last possession.
Turner outside. Here's Baker. Rembert now with 8 rebounds, 4 offensive, 4 defensive, in addition to his 22 points. Big ball game for him. Turner to Bearden. Low along the baseline looking for Collins, who was knocked out by Michigan. 11:49 to go. It's 58-51. And we still have almost 12 minutes to play in the third place game at the 1987 Great Alaska Shootout. So far, Michigan in front by 7.
And he should help himself tremendously.
Collins to Bearden. The freshman Sean Higgins covers him.
See, now Higgins could be effective, getting over the top of screens, fighting over 24.
They switch out. Here's Baker's jump shot. Off the glass and good, just like you draw it up.
Well, he's a good shooter, but that time he had a little brick and a little lock and had things go his way.
5-point lead again. Here's Grant. This is as close as UAB has been. Higgins swings it to Grant. They look inside. Hughes, Mills on the court along with Rice. This is Mills. Almost knocked away. In the lane, it's Rice. Turnaround is short. Baker rebounds. Now a chance to cut it back to a 3-point difference. Here come the Blazers from Birmingham, Alabama.
See, as the season progresses, they're going to take advantage of the great skills of Terry Mills. Right now, they don't utilize him enough, the players on the floor, in a proper fashion to take advantage of his tremendous skills.
Collins up, no good. Mills rebounds. Collins may have forced that one.
Yeah, that was a forced shot right there. Bill Frieda wants them to get the ball inside. He talked about it yesterday.
Higgins for 3. It's short. Over the top. Knocked out by Hughes. UAB basketball. 10:40 to play. Again, a chance for Gene Bartow's club to cut that lead down to 3 points. It's 58-53 Michigan right now. The Wolverines jumped out to an early 8-0 lead, and they have led the entire game. Michael Charles works his way in the lane, gives it up to Rembert. His drive in.
He's just beating him to the glass. He's got the great first step we talked about. He's got that explosive move to the goal. But again, no defense whatsoever along the baseline by the Wolverines.
The lead is 3 with 10 minutes and 12 seconds to play. Rembert, a career-high 24 points. Higgins almost turned it over. Grant for 3. No. Rice rebound, shoots and misses. Tipped up and out of there. The Blazers now can get within one. We're inside 10 minutes to play here at Sullivan Arena, Anchorage, Alaska.
Michigan's got a war in their hands right now. This team's playing with a lot of zeal and a lot of confidence.
And there's one big reason Bearden has played well. Baker with a
count it.
He's got it.
Count it.
Baker cuts the lead to one. The junior from Benton, Illinois, has 6 points. It's 58-57. The Wolverines' 9-point halftime lead is down to 1.
He can shoot the ball, John. He's an excellent stationary shooter.
The Blazers are flying right now. They are on fire. 9:30 to play in the game. It's 58-57 Michigan.
How do others?
No one rotates over. Take a look. Mills steps out. He goes right around Mills. And there it is. Look at his freezing. There's Higgins looking at him. There's Vaught. There's Rice. There's Grant along the side. Larry Rembert, 24 points, a new career high, and he's got to leave this tournament with a lot of confidence.
Rembert is 10 out of 15 from the field, 4 of 6 from the line, and if you add all of that up, it amounts to 24 points. A big ball game. 9:30 to play. And now the Wolverines know they're going to have to play. Griffin checks into the lineup. He's in there along with Grant, Higgins, the freshman, Mills, the prop 48 player, and Hughes. Those are the 5 on the court right now for Michigan.
He changed the look of his defense right now. Still zoning, but it looks like a 1-2-2.
UAB answers with Baker, Collins, Rembert, Charles.
See, they got to learn to attack the seams right here. They got to reverse the ball, dump it into Mills. Right there. Oh, they missed it.
From the side, it's short. Knocked away, and UAB has a chance to take the lead. Rumeal Robinson, who left the lineup earlier, has a bruised left foot. He's done for the game. Collins throws it up, and now I think he fouled trying to get it back.
Michigan really doesn't have any kind of rhythm to their offensive game. They're really not getting the good ball movement, not getting the ball on the inside to the gut of the defense and attacking it. And it's got to start with the general, number 25. He looks a little tired, too. Look at him. His hands are on his knees. He looks a little fatigued.
That time, Collins was in too big a hurry to get the shot off. Instead of setting up offensively a chance to take the lead, they were in a hurry to get that lead back, and he took a bad shot.
Well, no one's giving him a shot to win here, so Gene Bartow, he doesn't want any moral victories. Not Gene Bartow. He wants the real thing.
Baseline jumper Mills rattles out, gets it back and is fouled. Stripped of the basketball by Charles, and Mills is going to go to the line. He tried to go right back up with it. Followed his shot nicely.
I think that was just a matter of frustration. He caught the ball on a baseline. He shot the quick baseline jumper. Then he came back. He figured, heck, I'm not getting my hands on the ball enough on the rock. I got to try and make something happen. There it is right here. Now he's coming after a good offensive rebound. See, it's not that they don't want to give him the ball. It's not being unselfish. I mean, being selfish. It's a matter of knowing how to enter the ball. The same thing happens with Syracuse. Kids like Stevie Thompson and them, John, don't have the experience yet making that entry to Ronnie Cyclone.
It obviously was not a shooting foul, according to the officials. So Grant at the top of the circle. 8:20 to play in the game. Michigan with a 1-point lead and the basketball. Rice has been the big offensive star with 19 points. Griffin with a jump shot from the side. It's short. Up strong again is Rembert. That's 9 rebounds for Rembert. He's playing the game of his life. Corner shot by Turner gives UAB the lead.
Turner makes the big shot, but again, it was the excellent penetration. Look at Bearden jumping up and down now. He's playing with enthusiasm.
Rice for 3, bending off. Turner rebounds. It's 59-58. The Blazers from Birmingham have come back to take the lead. Turner gets out of trouble along the baseline, gets the basketball back, turning, shooting against Mills. Rice with a rebound. Now Michigan a chance to regain the lead. Grant spinning in the lane. He's fouled. That'll be 4 on Bearden.
Well, at least Gary Grant tried to make something happen. We have not seen that acclaimed running game of Michigan's. We haven't seen that tremendous fast break attack that we heard so much about during the pre-conference or the preseason workouts. And the reason for that is, number one, the tremendous hustle of UAB getting back defensively to denying them running with the ball.
Out to Grant. Higgins checks back in along with Boyd Vaught. And Higgins will see a lot of playing time now that Rumeal Robinson is out of the game with a bruised foot, will not come back. Rice almost lost it. Touched last by UAB. Charles was the last to touch it. 7:19 to play in the game. 59-58. The green and gold are out in front. Higgins jumper short. Bearden tracks down the rebound. Back comes Barry Bearden.
Look at him playing with the ball.
Baker decides not to shoot past about a 10-foot jumper. Now he'll shoot from three-point range and hit it. He likes the longer shot. 9 points for Baker.
He's a lot like Matt Rowe of Syracuse. He's a specialist. He's an excellent shooter. Has tremendous range.
A 4-point lead. Obviously the first time and the biggest lead they've had in the basketball game. Out of the hands of Blunt. UAB has run off 11 points in a row. Michigan turns it over. And hustling back into the lineup will be Dylan Howard for Coach Dean Bartow. And with 4 fouls, Bearden will sit down.
Michigan is rattled, really rattled on the offensive end. He might need a timeout to settle him down, but they're going to go to a full court trap.
Now, with Bearden out of the lineup, if you're Michigan, this is the time to put the heat on defensively. Dylan Howard's shot is short. Bought a rebound.
Not the guy you want to shoot the ball. He's
Grant
a
with his
defensive player.
speed. All the way in for a basket.
That's transition basketball. That's the real Gary Grant going coast to coast, exploding to the goal. He's going to make things happen.
Cuts the lead to 2, 62-60. Baker for 3. Yes!
He feels it, John. He feels it. He's a great shooter. He gives a little high five.
That's 12 points for him in the game. 2 straight three-pointers. So the lead goes back to 5. 65-66 minutes to play in the third-place game of the Great Alaska Shootout. Michigan has made only one of their last 9 field goal attempts. Knocked away. Rice saves it. Grant, top of the circle, no place to go. Baseline jumper. Rice is good. So Rice answers. 21 points for Glenn Rice. He's 1 away. Or 6 away, rather, from his career high.
Rice doing a solid job to keeping him right in his basketball game. Comes up with a big deuce.
65-62, the Blazers from Alabama, Birmingham. Charles hangs. He's got Rembert inside where he operates and he lays it in. Rembert again low. He has 26 points.
What an NBA move. What a power move. That's exactly how you like your power forwards to take the ball to the goal. Good up and under move inside. Look at the big fella inside number 40. He splits the 2 defenders, and he has the whole Michigan team admiring his move.
67-62. Rice picks up the foul as he reaches in right there.
See, Michigan's players right now aren't demonstrating good footwork defensively down in the post area. Bill Frieda himself has said we do not play good post defense.
Rembert is 6 out of 8 in this half from the field. Misses the foul shot. He'll get another. A lane violation, and Rembert will stay right there.
UAB is definitely my choice to win that Sun Belt Conference. You're seeing them right now. They're getting better and better in terms of just right here in this tournament. After watching them against Southwest Texas and seeing them against Syracuse, they certainly have improved here in this basketball game.
Well, they came into this game having shot 33% combined in the first 2 games. They picked that up, and Rembert has really played strong inside, misses again.
It also really becomes vital to have a point guard. Here's another obvious game to show you how important a point guard is.
Grant spins it in. Gary Grant has 15 points. It's 67-64, 5 minutes to play. UAB with a 3-point lead and the basketball. Michigan has led by as many as 13. There's Rembert again. This time it's blocked by Hughes. A 2-on-1. Higgins and Grant. Higgins with it.
Higgins had to explode a little bit more in that lane without the basketball to get ahead of Gary Grant. When you got your point guard with the basketball in the middle of the floor and you're running the wing, you got to run it like a thoroughbred and get ahead of him. That should have been an easy layup instead of now having to go to the foul line to get a deuce.
Foul number 2 on Rembert. 4:43 left in the game. Higgins will go to the line. Sean is 0 for 1 at the foul line, has only 2 points in the game, seeing a lot of playing time, I mentioned, because of the absence of Romeo Robinson, who left with a bruised foot and will not be back.
There's Bill Frieda with that sweater on. His wife Janice bought it for him yesterday.
Missed the second. Collins rebounds. It's a 2-point lead for UAB. The Blazers have the ball. Turner pushes it up.
See, right now, shot selection becomes very important.
And Bearden is back on, playing with 4 fouls. Tries to penetrate. Charles for 3. Yes.
That was created by the penetration ability of Bearden. He penetrated the defense. He kicked it out to the open shooter, and the open shooter delivered the 3-point play.
A 5-point lead here is Rice trying to answer from 3-point range. He does. 24 points for Glenn Rice.
Michigan's bench has got to get a little bit more into it, too, in terms of some enthusiasm on the sideline to cheer their teammates on. A la Arizona, and the UAB kids are doing it now.
4 minutes to play in the game. A 2-point lead for UAB. Charles goes inside. Turner spinning on the baseline. No place to go. Back to Charles. He works the baseline for the jump shot, draws the foul.
He's so active, John. He really feels that he can play with the big boys. He proved it last year when he started against Western Kentucky, who had a host of talent, Murray Arnold's basketball team. And right here, this guy is showing why he's so important to Gene Bartow's basketball team. Michael Charles.
Higgins leads with 3 fouls. Griffin takes his spot. It's all up to Gary Grant. He's the one that's going to have to carry him in the final 3:50 of this game.
Well, when you're an All-American, All-Americans do it at pressure time.
18 points for Michael Charles. He is 5 for 5 at the foul line. Trying to push the UAB lead back to 4. Bending in. He got the roll, 19 points. We have 3:50 left in the game. A dandy going here at the 10th annual Great Alaska Shootout. UAB 72 and Michigan 68 in Anchorage.
There's a town where...
The playmaking of Barry Bearden has sparked a comeback for UAB.
There's the penetration. Freeze it right here. He drives Grant back. Now he's going to kick it out to the wide-open Charles, who gets Higgins bumped on a screen, number 24, and there is the open jump shot. But credit that to the creativity of the guard, Barry Bearden. Here's another one. Now watch him penetrate here again. And now he's going to drop the bounce pass to Turner, and Turner's going to square his body. He's going to deliver the J. But you know what? Those 2 baskets were created by the Thomas Edison himself, the inventor on the floor, Barry Bearden, who's winning himself some PT.
57% shooting for UAB in the second half. Michigan, 52%. That's from the field. And look at this. The 3-point goals, 4 out of 4 for UAB. They've also turned around the rebounding stat. They have out-rebounded Michigan by 5 in the second half. They lead by 4. The Wolverines, who've been up by as many as 13, now they must come from behind.
They got to show some guts that they can come from behind. They didn't show it yesterday against Arizona.
Lloyd Bott, a nice turnaround, very soft touch. 12 points for the junior from Grand Rapids.
Again, getting it into the gut of the defense. Get it down deep. Good things happen.
It's UAB by 2. 3:25 to play. Bearden driving the baseline. Now out to Turner. Charles for 3. It's short. Gets it back. Baseline ripped out from behind by Bott, but I think the foul will go maybe on the man in front. It'll be a 2-shot foul.
I think
Bott from behind and Hughes in front.
He's got to get Terry Mills on the floor also. Terry Mills sitting on the sideline right now. I think Bill's got to bring him in.
It will be on Mark Hughes. He was the man closest to the basket. That's 3 on March. And to the line is Charles. Charles is 6 out of 6.
So easy to coach here, sitting here. But I'll tell you one thing, John. Bill Frieder's made a believer out of me. I definitely overrated Michigan. We look early right now. Purdue has been beaten as we look at Mills. Purdue was rated number 1 by some people. Syracuse has been beaten. Kansas blown out yesterday. I mean, everybody given a number 1 shot has been beaten. It's amazing. And except for Florida, Score Magazine picks them number 1.
21 points in the ballgame for Michael Charles. A 4-point lead as we count down to 3 minutes left in the game. Right now, Griffin, right for 3. Boy, he's deadly today. Glenn Rice has 27 points. That's a career high.
What is the foul status of Terry Mills, John? I don't have a...
Terry Mills has only 1 foul.
Surprised he's not going down the stretch on the floor, especially with them behind here.
UAB's lead is down to 1. 2:40 left in the game. Howard facing the basket. Bearden looks inside. It's cut off by Rice. Penetration. Bearden up. Drops it for Collins. Won't go. Rebound. Vaught, a chance for Michigan to take the lead.
Good rebound right there by Vaught, but excellent penetration again by Bearden. They're sitting in that zone.
Skips it across to Rice. He's too far out. Vaught way outside. Grant resets. 2:15 to play. Low to Rice. Threw it away. Michael Charles against Grant.
Griffin telegraphed that pass down inside to Rice.
Grant cuts him off. Keeps him away from the baseline. He has to back out, start over. 35 on the shot clock. 2 minutes left in the game.
Big possession right here. We talk about big possessions. This is probably the biggest right now for UAB in the game.
Bearden against Griffin deep in the corner. Backs it out. 25 on the shot clock. Collins baseline. Lost it, but it was touched last by Rice. Just dropped it out of bounds. Fortunately for UAB, it went off the foot of Glenn Rice.
Well, also fortunately for Michigan, he didn't catch that ball, because if he drops the little bounce pass to the offside, they had an unbelievably open Dylan Howard for a slam dunk. And here's Larry Rembert.
Rembert checking back in with his career high of 26 points. Bearden outside, playing with 4 fouls. 1 minute and 40 seconds left in the game. 13 seconds left on the shot clock. Charles looks inside. Baseline drive up and in.
Good move by Charles, but again, no one rotates over. Bill Frieda must know something on that sideline that we don't know in terms of Mills being out of the game. Maybe something's hurting him.
Lloyd Vaught, one fake, up, trying to jam. He's fouled by Rembert. Vaught with a beautiful move. He faked the soft turnaround jumper and went strong to the hole. 3 fouls now on Rembert. Here it is.
There's the ball down inside. Good head fake to get himself free. He takes it up strong. There's a good foul right there by Rembert, though, John, because he had an automatic deuce for a slam dunk. Now he's got to go to the line. He's got to deliver to 2.
Vaught, who had 5 points on Friday, 6 points on Saturday, has 12 so far. We have 1 minute and 21 seconds left. It's not over yet. UAB is leading by 3 at the Great Alaska Shootout, the consolation game. UAB by 3, 1 minute and 21 seconds left.
Now we're going to watch Charles get a big basket right here against the Michigan defense, where we don't see that rotation and it helps. Here he goes. Freeze it. See, now 35 had turned his back, Vaught, and didn't come over quick enough in help position. And now he has the pull-up little baseline jump shot. Whenever you play against an Indiana, Bobby Knight's teams probably play better than anyone in the country when we talk about help defense, stepping in, closing off the driving lane. And that's so important to a team defense.
Terry Mills is still on the bench. So that is the timeout situation.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Bill Frieda decided to go down winning time, stretch time, with the new kid, Terry Mills, on the sideline.
Vaught with a couple of big foul shots, hits the first. He is 1 out of 2 in the game.
But I always like to give the coach the benefit of the doubt, John. He knows his team a lot better than we do sitting here in the booth, and certainly knows why. But he's going to bring them in right now, I believe. He's taking them off the bench.
Made them both. So Vaught with a couple of very important foul shots. Loy has 14. That's a new career high. And here is the Prop 48 player, Mills. Mills has 1 foul, 4 points. He made the last basket of the first half. That's all. He's been averaging 20 a game, so very quiet for Terry Mills.
Well, he has to learn how to get free, and so the shots will come a little bit better for him.
A 1-point lead. Here's the pressure from Michigan. Turner with it. They'll back it out now with 1 minute 15 to play.
They got to get the ball in Bearden's hands, and he's got to use some clock.
He will. He'll take his time as we count down to 30 seconds left on the shot clock. 1:05 left in the game.
He's being checked by Higgins. Higgins got great size, but Bearden's a little quicker with the ball.
They had Grant on Charles. He works his way into the corner, brings it back to Turner. Turner turned it over.
Big turnover right there, forced by the Michigan defense.
Reginald Turner with a turnover. 53 seconds to play. A chance for Michigan to go back on top. But UAB is going to take a timeout. Now each team will have 2 timeouts remaining.
This is where Gary Grant's got to perform. Last year, Indiana won so many clutch games, including one against Michigan on ESPN at Ann Arbor, where Steve Alford made the big play, and that's what made Steve Alford such a pressure player.
53 seconds left in this game at the Great Alaska Shootout. University of Alabama, Birmingham by a point with 53 seconds left. Michigan will have the ball.
Well, remember with the 45-second clock right now, it's important that Michigan will try to look for the first really good opportunity, because remember this, if they come up short, they got to really dig in on the defensive end and try to get the ball back.
And obviously the man they look to score is Rice. He has 24 points. He's made a couple of three-pointers. Higgins and Grant are the guards.
They got to get it in Grant's hands right now, the experienced player.
Spread out their offense. Grant down the lane. Up. It bends off. Follows his own shot and is fouled.
Well, that's a great play. That's an All-American play. One, he wanted the ball. He wanted the rock at crucial time. He didn't run from it like so many players do. They posted him at the foul line. They got him the ball, and now he pump fakes. Now, what really impressed me, he comes up short here. Look at his second effort. There he is right now with the Giants, number 25. That's an All-American play. Gary Grant.
Third foul on Collins. It is UAB taking another timeout. One timeout left for Alabama Birmingham, 2 remaining for Michigan. We have 35 seconds left in the game. Rice has scored 27, but I mentioned it with 3:50 to play. I said Grant's going to have to take over because Rumeal Robinson's not there. He's going to be the guy. He's got to be the general in this one.
John, also remember right now the scenario. Bill Frieda is reminding his team of several options, what to do as he's in that timeout. In the event one, he comes up short on a free throw line. Right now they're down 1. He's shooting 2, so he's got to go over all the options, what to do on a score, what to do, number 2, if there isn't a score, and number 3, I'll let them know a little bit about matchups, and number 4, the time on the clock. It's important now. If Michigan converts these 2, you're going to see some good man-to-man pressure to force UAB maybe into a turnover.
If we get into an overtime situation, keep this in mind for UAB. Their plane leaves an hour from now.
Gene Bartow's not thinking about any plane right now. I'll tell you one thing, if he gets a W here, he'll fly right out of here to Birmingham, Alabama. They'll be flying high because he didn't anticipate a W in this game, I'll guarantee you.
35 seconds to play. Grant will go to the line. He has not attempted a free throw in the game. You see the team numbers there briefly. UAB has shot well at the line, but Grant on the season is only 2 of 5, and he'll get a chance right here to put his team ahead.
Michigan hasn't shot well at all today on a free throw line, 9 for 16, where UAB has done a solid job on the line. There's a guy going to the Hall of Fame we looked at a moment ago, Gene Bartow. His record at UAB is just astounding. 7 consecutive bids to a tournament, tying Georgetown, North Carolina, and Kentucky with 7 consecutive or more.
Michigan 2 out of 4 on the front end of 1-and-1 situations in this game. Saturday, they didn't really have that situation. Also, they got a two-shot foul here, though.
Also, they got to be very careful right here on a miss with the offensive rebound. Bill's a good offensive rebounder, so UAB's got to lay a body on him right here as Gary Grant shooting the free throw. Not a great free throw shooter.
This is the first time the game has been tied. It bends in. Michigan leads by a point. 35 seconds to play. Now it's up to UAB.
John, the shot clock is off right now.
How would you do it, Dick? Would you go work it down, or would you shoot quickly?
Well, you're down 1. You got to look for the first good opportunity, but be patient. Try to get the first good shot. Certainly, you don't want just the last shot because if you come up short, you want some strategy left to do something.
15 seconds. Bearden along the baseline. He's in traffic off the foot of Rice, out of bounds. 12 seconds left, and one more chance to inbound for Alabama Birmingham.
They're going to get a timeout. Solid move by Gene Bartow here. Settle the kids down. Set up a good play.
That is the last timeout for Coach Gene Bartow. Bill Frieda and Michigan have 2 remaining. We come down now to the final 12 seconds of the game. Dick, reset the strategy for both teams.
Well, right now, down 1 point. UAB in that timeout as they're talking. Gene Bartow trying to get together. He's been in so many situations. Number 1, what I'm talking about when I said earlier, you don't take it right down to the buzzer, because if you miss, you don't have an opportunity maybe to foul and get the ball back. So with about 5 to 6 seconds, they will try the attempt. So they have time to, 1, try an offensive rebound, because remember, Rembert's been a tiger on the boards, and Michigan does not do a good job blocking out. So offensive rebounding is very important for UAB. And number 2, Bill Frieda is reminding his players right here, we must block out as we look at Gene Bartow in that timeout. What a coach this guy has been.
One of these teams will leave 2-1 and third place. The other will go home 1-2 and fifth place. Right now it's Michigan by a point, 77-76. 12 ticks of the clock remain.
Well, if I went inside, the guy I'd have to go to right now is Rembert. He's either going to get fouled or take it to the goal and score. And on the other option, Charles usually will make something happen. He's a very, very explosive player.
It is Baker, Rembert, Collins, Charles, and Bearden. That is the lineup for UAB. The timeout situation is very clear right there. It'll be Mills,
also
General, Gary Grant, of course, Hughes in the lineup as well, along with Higgins and Wright.
Taking a ball out on the bound, out under the goal right now. Michigan has to be very, very alert.
Now Michigan wants time.
Well, they want to see the alignment, but Michigan has to be alerted to the fact of a screen along that baseline for an open layup.
The win. So now the strategy is going to be reset. Now you've seen the formation. Do the coaches change?
Well, right now, number one, he went into a box situation. Gene Bartow on the initial setup. Michigan tried to recognize what they were doing, called the TO, the timeout, to set up their defense. It'll be interesting to see whether Michigan zones under the basket or plays man-to-man. Most clubs like to zone on the inbounds from the baseline. But when you zone, you're usually giving a gap, and they can get that good shot, number one. And number two, they usually have the availability to the offensive rebound.
Interesting. After the last timeout, UAB was first out on the court. This time it was Michigan.
Michigan playing man-to-man on the inbounds of the basketball right now. Watch for a screen and bump someone for a layup.
Rembert into the lane. Bumped by Higgins. Shot is short. Rebound Michigan. The Wolverines are going to escape. Grant has it with 5 seconds left. He's fouled.
Grant's made the two big plays, John. He made the good offensive rebound when they needed it. He got fouled on the play. Made the good defensive rebound. But this game is not over yet with 5 seconds and 5 ticks on the clock. Even if he converts 2, John, remember, Baker is an outstanding three-point shooter. What I would do if I were Michigan if he converted these 2, put all kinds of pressure on Bearden so they can't run the ball up the court.
With conversation along the sideline, Grant will be at the line. Nobody from Michigan is going to be at the line, but they are going to position Higgins and Mills and Hughes all near half court. So maybe, Dick, they're going to try to keep him in backcourt.
Well, Bearden's not on the floor right now. I'd put the pressure on Charles, who will probably throw the ball in bounds to.
Another clutch foul shot by Grant. He hits a foul shot to give him the lead.
They're going to try to get the ball into Charles's hands so they can run it up the court.
It's a 2-point difference.
3 wins the
seconds.
game. 3 wins the game.
From behind, knocked away by Gary Grant. 1 second left. Grant caught up with Charles and knocked it out of bounds.
Remember, the game is not over when it says 0-0 on that clock, John. It is over at the sound of the horn, and we don't know if it's 1.5 seconds, 1 3/4 seconds. Steve Friedrich trying to get some size on the floor, and Griffin defensively or quickness. He's taking Mills out. He wants experience versus inexperience defensively. Remember now, the clock does not start until the ball touches a UAB player on the floor.
Dylan Howard will put it in play. To Charles. Turnaround at the buzzer. It is short. The ball game is over. So that is it. 78-76. Michigan sneaks away with a victory here at the Great Alaska Shootout. For Dick Vitale, I'm John Sanders. We hope you've enjoyed it from Anchorage.
Back there that wants to rock so we can get this club to be very, very effective.
So we have more changes in that lineup as Curtis Bailey, a junior from Birmingham, Alabama, who played at one time at Wichita State, joins the lineup.
Well, you know, what an outstanding job. We talk about Gene Bartow. I call him the Frank Lloyd Wright of basketball. He's to, I guess, basketball, building the program, what Lloyd Wright was to the architectural world. But you look in Alabama, Wimp Sanderson's done a great job at Alabama, and Sonny Smith down at Auburn, who won last night, 100 20 to 67. He said, welcome to college basketball. Ronnie Arrow, the new coach at South Alabama.
41-24 is our score. 17-point Syracuse lead. The Orangemen have been up by as many as 19. Coleman, nice move.
That's a great move. That's Derek Coleman when he's playing the basketball he's capable of. Playing under control, very quick move to the goal. He's an active player when he wants to be.
Wixel way outside. Rowe will pick him up. And the new man, Bailey, lays in a jumper, so his first 2 points.
You know, they got some active front court players. You look at Curtis Bailey now coming on the floor. We saw Evans. We know about Rembert and Collins. But again, you need somebody like this little guy.
Look at this move by Douglas, bending off finally. There's Coleman trying to clean it up, and he drew the foul by Bailey.
Shouldn't have put the ball on the floor right there. Derek should have went right quickly back up to the goal, but he's very active, and he's playing hard and playing with intensity. At times, he becomes like Casper. He disappears.
He will go to the line. Another beautiful move. It rimmed out, but there he is trying to pick it up. He does that so well. He cleans up after.
Coleman's got the long arms.
He's got 5 rebounds so far, way short with his foul shot. He's 9 out of 14 at the foul line, and that's the first miss of the game for Syracuse.
When he was in high school, he was rated number 2 in the state of Michigan, right behind Terry Mills. If Michigan were to beat Arizona, you'd have a confrontation between Mills and Coleman would play. Guarantee it, put it down. You would see the real Derek Coleman.
A minute 15 left in the first half, a first half that Syracuse has controlled from the early going. The Blazers missed their first 6 shots, and they've been in trouble ever since. Wixel, Rembert, in the lane, jump shot bends off. Collins trying to follow underneath. Nope. Bailey's there. No basket. I think they're going to call Bailey for a foul. He cleaned out everybody. There was nobody left there but him. No wonder he got the lay-in.
He said no. He looks like he can play for Auburn's football team. Hey, mentioning Auburn, they beat Alabama. Paul Feinbaum, I thought he'd be here, the noted columnist from out of Birmingham, but he's probably getting ready to slice Bill Curry apart. You should see this guy Feinbaum. When he writes a column, he can really chop with the best, John.
And Stephen Thompson will go to the foul line. Stephen is 1 out of 3 at the foul line this year. A career-high 19 points yesterday in the win over University of Alaska Anchorage. 4 points in the first half for Thompson today.
He's a beautiful kid, too. Very personable, outstanding.
Hughes keep it alive. Missed the shot. Hareed tried to follow. Now Thompson. Let's see. Yes, Thompson.
Oh, he can just really sky. What legs. Great vertical jump. And he has a nose. He's hungry. He wants to score.
Thompson, even only 6'4", averages 7 rebounds a game. Douglas with another steal for Coleman. Here he comes.
Oh, the monster mash. Derek Coleman. Yes, sirree. That's why he was a great high school player.
Steal. Here's Douglas.
It's showtime right now. It's showtime by Syracuse. Jimmy Boeheim's looking, saying, where have you been? This is the team that everybody had, number 1 in America.
The lead grows to 21, the biggest of the ball game. Bearden is going to check back into the lineup for Wixel. Let's go back and watch the magician, Sherman Douglas.
There's Sherman Douglas. He kicks it to Derek Coleman, and there's Derek with the monster mash. The Big East is going to be some kind of conference again with Syracuse, Georgetown, putting a lot of pressure on the ball, Pittsburgh. And then you got to take a look at Seton Hall, Providence, Villanova, Dave Gavin. You know, you mentioned Gavin, and he's done a great job over with the Big East, but Vic Bubas has done a solid job also with the Sun Belt Conference. And the one thing I like about both guys, they're former basketball coaches. They know what the coaches, how they feel, how they think, and they're excellent administrators.
Still not in the bonus situation as yet. 16 fouls against Syracuse. So they've done well in that area with only 15 seconds left in the first half. James will try to reset now.
Take a look at Gene Barthel. Look mighty sad right there, but I'll guarantee at the end of the year, this is going to be a solid basketball team.
James gets it up inside. Off the glass by Rembert. Coleman with a rebound. Kicks it ahead to Douglas. Douglas at the buzzer. No.
Syracuse could do anything they want, John. It was just domination with a capital.
A big first half. Sherman had 16 points in the opening win by Syracuse here at the Great Alaska Shootout, and 16 already. Coleman off the baseline, works his way in, brings it back out to Douglas. Douglas kicks it to Thompson. Inside cycle. He turns around. There's Douglas. Low to Coleman. Lane jumper too hard. Cycling.
had it, lost it out of bounds. UAB will control the basketball.
He's got to keep himself from getting frustrated, Ronnie Cycli, when they can't get him the basketball. He came over to us when we were standing there getting ready to do our halftime. He said, I only got the ball. I shot 3 times. See, here's the kid that's the key, John. He's got to make the play.
They've got a 3-on-1. Stripped away by number 32, Stephen Thompson. The foul, though, is on Ron Cycli.
Jimmy Boeheim, one of the most maligned coaches, for a guy that wins and wins and wins, along with Bill Frieder. I always give out my award, the Guy V. Lewis, Joe B. Hall Award, because those 2 guys were maligned, and yet they won and won. And Jimmy Boeheim, no matter what he does, he seems like somehow he can't get the kind of respect nationally that he deserves. And he really has done a solid goal job since his arrival over at Syracuse as the head coach.
The ball will be put in play from out of bounds, or are they going to give him a shot? Apparently they are going to give Larry Rembert a shot. Rembert had the only free throw attempt in the first half by the Blazers from Birmingham. He missed it. 8 first half points for Rembert to lead the scoring. Gets the roll.
They told me that he had an excellent pre-season workout. I mean, he was really impressive during their early season workouts. And then he had a very subpar game here yesterday against Harry Larabe's Southwest Texas team. But today in the first half, he demonstrated some real good, strong power moves on the inside.
47-28, a 19-point Syracuse lead.
Look how strong Duncan is with the ball, number 14.
Baseline drive. It's blocked by Collins. Bearden gives it up to Collins for 3, and Collins bangs in a 3-pointer. He's got 9.
But Bearden made the play.
Here's the steal. Charles at the other end now. Looks low. Rembert spins along the lane. Missed the shot, but drew the foul. So 2 quick fouls in the second half on Ronnie Cycli, and a little bit of a surge here by UAB.
That was an NBA move by Rembert when he posted down in the low blocks. He really posted whirled. He had the good drop step, the strong move. Excellent timeout by Jimmy Boeheim.
19:04 to play in the game. Syracuse was up by 21. That lead has slipped just a little bit. One of the big reasons was the 3-point play. Watch Bearden set up the feed, but Collins, he knows where the 3-point line is, doesn't he?
Yeah, he really has an awareness for it. You watch. He comes over, back up, freeze it. See, now he knows where the 3-point line is. Now he's going to back up. He's going to back up, do a little dance, get behind the line, square his body, deliver the 3-point. But, you know, Bearden did a perfect job delivering the rock at the right time. He made a good decision. It's so important in your point guard, making intelligent decisions with the ball.
The first 5 points of the second half to the Blazers from University of Alabama, Birmingham. And Rembert trying to keep it going. Does. He is 3 for 3 in the second half at the foul line.
And Gene looks really sad right now, but what an outstanding coach. What a winner he's been. In fact, what success he had at UCLA following the legend, the Wizard of Westward, John Wooden. He was the guy to replace him. It was 52-9 in 2 years. But what a job trying to replace Coach Wooden.
Now Douglas facing some trapping pressure. It's taken away from Duncan. Here's Bearden. Lays it off, misses Collins with a foul.
They're very active right now, and they're really springing some traps. Syracuse getting a little lackadaisical against the pressure.
47-32, 35 rather. 9 points in a row here in the second half.
They're going to a scramble defense. Usually when you go to this kind of defense, some good things happen, but also you leave a lot of guys open for easy layups.
It was touched by Howard and goes out of bounds. Dylan Howard got a piece of it, the junior from Fort Wayne. So Jim Boeheim has seen the Blazers score the first 9 and cut that 21-point halftime lead to 12. Here may be an answer. Rowe joins the lineup. He came on to replace Earl Duncan.
Now they rotate in the zone, come out of their half-court traps. They're in a 2-3 zone right now. Zone simply means you play an area of the floor, guard an area of the floor as opposed to a man.
Douglas for 3, no. On the rebound, Rembert.
No, they got a push on Derek Coleman.
They do have the push on Coleman, so that'll be 3 on Derek. Syracuse has not made a point in the second half.
There's the shot by Douglas. Coleman on a weak side. Gives a, well, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. They caught him for a little push. I didn't see the push.
A chance to cut that 21-point lead to 10. And that's the first hurdle. You've got to get down to 10, then inside 10. Collins for 3, missed everything. Coleman with a rebound.
Eddie Collins trying to shoot that ball on top. He's a big power player. He's got to go down in the boxes, Eddie Collins.
And Douglas a little slow to get up as he went down trying to get into the transition game. It's Collins pushing on Cycli from behind.
They're a little bit late on the entry down into Cycli. They got to get a little better rhythm in trying to enter the ball. They're a little hesitant in dumping it down inside, and Collins trying to play on the backside of Cycli bumps a little bit.
47-35. Here's Cycli just off the lane. Jump shot off the glass and good. Ronnie Cycli with 8 points.
He's got a nice touch. Nobody knows where he is on the floor. Steps into an opening, a gap. You got to have an awareness for the All-American. You got to know where he is at all times.
And the 9-point run is ended. Steal by Thompson, but he was out of bounds. Nope. Howard touched it last, so it will be Syracuse basketball.
There's a little confusion right here. Tom Frame, Jimmy Boeheim said, no, it's our ball.
He said that Howard touched it last, so the pressure by Thompson causes the turnover.
Derek Coleman gives me the big stare, like looks at me, he says, what do you think of me now? I still think the same, Derek. It's up to you how good you want to be. They could have had number 4 on him right there. They missed it. Coleman pushed off.
And Thompson into the lane. Jump shot good. Stephen Thompson with 8 points.
Stephen Thompson gets right into this scene. Mrs. Thompson, you can be proud of Stephen. He's a beautiful, beautiful young man.
Back to a 16-point lead. Rowe fouled him outside.
Syracuse is so explosive. UAB does a great job making that run. Comes out of here, plays really well in the beginning of the second half, but Syracuse has the capability to run out on you 8-zip or 8-1. There's a man that's been around. What a career he has had.
Tremendous career. He is headed toward a big plateau. 477 career victories. Coaching stops include Central Missouri State, Valparaiso, Memphis State, and UCLA, as you mentioned a while ago.
He belongs in the Hall of Fame for just what he has done at UAB, taking a program without a basketball, and now, in a matter of a 10-year period, 7 consecutive NCAA berths, along with the Giants, Carolina, Kentucky, and Georgetown, the only 4 schools with 7 or more consecutive NCAA berths.
Syracuse with it, 16:43 to play in the game. The lead is back up to 16 points now at 51-35. It was a 21-point halftime lead for the Orangemen. Rowe with it outside. Coleman low to Cycli. He's hammered immediately by Howard. So Dylan Howard picks up his second foul. Ronnie Cycli.
Well, they're looking to get the ball inside to the big fella. Derek Coleman with the high post entry down into Ronnie Cycli.
16:34 to play in the game.
Cycli's best friend in the Big East is Charlie Smith over at Pittsburgh. See, right there, they missed the ball, so he's wide open. Now he should have it.
He does. Turns around. Gives it up to Stephen Thompson. His jumper is going to be short. Michael Charles chases it down. Gets it ahead to Bearden.
That was an excellent pass by Ronnie Cycli. The zigzag move. Enter the post and look to the weak side.
Rembert on a drive. Cycli just shut it off. Follow Coleman with a rebound. Rembert had a couple of cracks at it, but I'll tell you, Ronnie Cycli just closed the door.
See, he wants it right there. He's sitting in the post. He should have had it.
He got it. Here's the turnaround by Cycli too hard. Coleman with a rebound. Up for the follow. Through the foul.
Derek Coleman is so quick on him attacking the glass. He's a real Windex man.
Derek will go to the line where he is 0 for 2 in the game and 9 for 15 on the season.
I remember early when I started out in television, I used to get on Mark Aguirre a lot, and I really like Mark, but I used to get on him because he had a tendency of turning it on when he wanted to turn it on. And finally, you know, he just came to play and became a great, great player. And basically, Derek Coleman, if he wants to use me as the motivation, so be it. But I hate to see a kid with a world of pole never live up to his pole.
4 misses in a row at the line for Coleman. He has not come close. 51-35. Syracuse still comfortably in front.
Poe means potential for some people, wondering what that lingo is all about.
They made their first 4 foul shots. Now have missed 5 in a row. Collins gets it over Cycli, who turns it around the other way. Here comes Ronnie trying to get in transition.
Give it back.
Douglas to Rowe. Off the glass too hard. Cycli just scoops it up. A foul, I think, is going to be on Collins inside. And Ronnie very active up and down the court.
He shows that he can run the court. The little give and go. Douglas didn't see Ronnie Cycli, but he should have kicked it back to Cycli instead of Rowe, and he would have had the slam, jam, bam.
Ronnie trying to do everything he can to get involved in the offense. If it means running the floor, he'll run the floor.
He wants to be an All-American. He definitely does.
Cycli has 11 rebounds at this point in the game, along with 3 blocks. He has 8 points. He's 2 out of 2 for the line. Ronnie has picked up a couple of fouls, both in the second half, and Cycli bends it home. He's 3 for 3.
Look at Ronnie Cycli. He wants the ball. Says, get it to me. Look, he's dancing. Says, please throw it to me. And now he's getting frustrated. Number 4, Ronnie Cycli.
Ronnie with 4 from the line in 4 attempts. 15:33 to play. It's 53-35. Back to that 19-point lead.
They're up 18, John. I was a great mathematician.
That's right. You were. That's probably what you taught, huh?
The only subject I could handle was math.
Foul is on Douglas.
Look at Douglas laughing. He has a great time playing. Just loves to play the game.
At halftime, it was a 21-point lead for the Orangemen of Syracuse. Right now, it's at 18.
There's the brain trust to the left of Jimmy Boeheim. Bernie Fine, who I talked about earlier, a guy that's great potential as a head coach. To his right, Wayne Morgan, an outstanding young assistant coach who does a great job recruiting for Syracuse.
Morgan in his 4th season. Barry Copeland and Howard Trish, the other assistants. Trish, of course, a graduate assistant who had a shot at the pros, but came back to Syracuse to work with Coach Jim Boeheim.
It'll be some matchup in a final if Syracuse prevails, playing the winner of Michigan and Arizona.
Michael Charles, a long-range 3-pointer here. Cycli with his 12th rebound. Knocked away, but Cycli gets it back.
Look at him! Ronnie Cycli.
Ronnie wanted a foul, didn't get it. That's about as acrobatic as he'll get on the break.
He looked like Baryshnikov up in shorts right there.
And at the other end, he got him with the body. So Ronnie with 3 fouls, maybe a little too active. He joins Coleman with 3 personals now.
John, he fouled out over 20 games last season, fouled out in the first game this year against North Carolina. They're going to take him out and bring Brower in. Look at him right now. He's going to play like a guard. He gets the loose ball. Look at him handle it. 6'11", little twist and turn, left hand.
So Cycli will sit down. Stephen Thompson leads the lineup as well. Brower and Hughes, there's Keith. Those are the replacements right now for Jim Boeheim's Syracuse Orangemen.
That's one of the biggest problems right now in basketball. Too many of the big guys all want to play a la the Magic Man and a la guys like Michael Jordan flying through the air. And we're really losing good, pure shooters. In fact, John Thompson told me he's having a tough time in scouting the nation, looking for his United States Olympic team, finding people that can shoot the basketball.
Charles gets his first 2 points. 14:42 to play. It's 53-37. The lead is 16. Rowe pressured in backcourt.
It's very important in the next 4 minutes for Gene Bartow's club. They got to try to get it to 10. That was a great pass and a great cut by Douglas. 45-degree angle. A clinic cut for the layup.
18 points now for Douglas. Back to an 18-point Orangeman lead of the Blazers at UAB. With the basketball and back in the lineup is Wixel. Charles' turnaround is way too hard. Coleman with a rebound, kicks it ahead. Douglas is there. He's got Rowe trailing. Can't save it.
The shot selection right now at UAB is not really good. The one trademark of a Gene Bartow basketball team has always been good shots. There's a look at the professor, Jimmy Boeheim, who's got a lovely wife, Elaine. I mean, beautiful lady.
Michael Charles had 14 points yesterday, and right now I think he's trying to do too much.
Yeah, he's trying to be too acrobatic. As I was teasing yesterday, I teased Jimmy Boeheim how he's overachieved in marriage to get someone as beautiful as Elaine.
Rembert, no place to go, returns it to Charles. Collins for 3. It's too hard.
Shot selection, John. You can't win without good shot selection. They're really not getting good shots in the rhythm of their offense. Too stationary. That's not really a good shot. People aren't in rebounding position.
Larry Wixel picks up his second foul. Coleman now with 11 rebounds. I think Ronnie Cycli is at an even dozen at this point in the game.
Gene Bartow used to dominate the city of Memphis in recruiting. Certainly Memphis State has done a great job keeping a lot of local kids. Larry Finch has got an outstanding team. But there was a great one this year in the city by the name of Todd Day, and he's going to be heading to Arkansas. Arkansas also got a great one a year ago, Ron Urey. So Nolan Richardson's starting to get into Memphis, Tennessee, taking some of those players that might have played for UAB.
Derek Coleman now brings the ball up. Douglas, spinning move into the lane, carries it down. It was hammered away by Rembert, but Douglas gets it back. In traffic now, up, right-handed shot is good.
He's so strong. He's got that strong body. He's a worker. He had the ball rejected on him, yet he stayed with it and converted it.
20 points for him. A 20-point lead for his team. That's going to be short from outside by Reginald Turner.
Turner's another key player, a very multi-dimensional kind of athlete who played brilliantly last year at the end when they beat an excellent Western Kentucky team for the Sun Belt Conference Tournament Championship. But Reginald Turner has not played well here in the Great Alaska Shootout.
Third foul on Hughes, so 3 Orangemen with 3 personal fouls. Cycli is on the bench with his 3 right now, and Turner is at the line.
They beat an outstanding team last year when they beat Murray Arnold's team 72-60 at Western Kentucky. You looked at Murray Arnold's club. He had 2 guys that are now in the NBA, and Tellis Frank and also Kennard Johnson.
8 in a row at the foul line in the second half for the Blazers of UAB as they try to climb back. Still looking at a pretty good-sized mountain because they're down by 18 points.
Derek Coleman gives him another handler in the backcourt to look over the top of any kind of potential trap and find the open man. He's got good skills with the ball.
And this is Duncan, who will run the basketball team right now. He's at the point. Douglas tries to go inside. Coleman into the lane, hangs, fires, and hits. Derek Coleman, 8 points.
That was an excellent shot. Douglas got the ball inside. It was deflected. Coleman stayed with it, whirled into the lane, and converted it.
Should point out, Dick, he took a quick glance at you again.
I know. He keeps doing that all the time.
Michael Charles on a drive. Baseline, brings it up, back to Collins. Baseline jumper, too hard. Collins trying to get it back and can't do it. That's because Hughes was there for the rebound. Transition, Douglas.
He has an explosive first step. He puts one dribble to the floor, and he just takes off to the goal, and he knows how to protect the ball and seal the defense off with his body.
Biggest lead of the game now. It's 22 points. Charles from outside. Again, long range, and right there is Coleman, who's having a heck of a ball game.
Yeah, he's really playing well. He's playing very active basketball.
Hughes on the good feed.
I just credit the entire Syracuse team with an excellent performance. The coaching staff has them ready to play. They've been really disappointed in some of their things that they've done. We talked about how Jimmy Boeheim threw them out of practice Friday night, called them a bunch of prima donnas. He said, get out of here. He loves these kids, but that's what you got to do sometimes, John. They got to kick them in the butt.
Charles for 3. So Michael Charles finally gets the 3-pointer to fall.
He's an explosive player. See, sometimes kids read those press clippings like Gene Cady said about his Purdue basketball team when they were beaten on their home floor, beaten in their own living room, blown away, embarrassed by Iowa State.
Duncan hanging, hitting. Duncan has 6 points.
And he puts his head down like, says, wow, I got a little bit lucky right there, Mr. Duncan. The D&D gang, Duncan and Douglas.
And both are on the court right now. Turner way outside. Wixel for 3, too hard.
Wixel didn't miss a shot yesterday.
Rembert with a follow, though. Rembert now has 14 points.
I like him, John. He's an active player. He's got good bounce off the floor. He knows how to score. He's just got to play his 30, 35 minutes a night, and he'll be a very productive player for Gene Bartow.
10:44 to play in the game. A 21-point lead for Syracuse. Coleman, they're all over him. Knock it away from him. He gets it back, stays with it. Now drives the lane, hangs, and can't hit the shot. He's fouled by Rembert.
He's getting himself ready for the showtime for the final on Monday night. He's getting himself really mentally ready for an opportunity to meet, whether it be Michigan and Terry Mills or Arizona with Sean Elliott, a mini Magic. That's right, a mini Magic. 6'8" Sean Elliott is an NBA player.
10:35 to play. Coleman has done nothing from the foul line. He's made 4 from the field.
He said, I'm having a great game, and here they have to show that I'm 0 for 4 from the foul line. Can't they hide that stat?
He'll have 2 more chances here.
What a year for the Big East in recruiting, John. What a tremendous job their teams have done. Syracuse and St. John's rank in my early my early signing period where I rated the top recruiting classes. I had St. John's number 4 and Syracuse number 5.
10:35 to play in the game. Really gotten it going. They only shot 36% in the victory over Southwest Texas State, and less than that so far in this game this afternoon.
Well, they're doing a good job defensively, holding the opposition to 31%. When you do that, John, you got a great chance to win every time you're on the floor. And basically, field goal percentage defensively is a very important statistic.
Another rebound for Coleman. He is playing hard, especially on the defensive end. He's got 13 rebounds right now. Now in the lane, turnaround, jump shot, going to be short.
But that's a good shot. You don't mind him posting up, taking that shot. He's playing, as you mentioned, John, he's playing hard. And when he plays hard, he's so difficult to deal with. He's a great rebounder. He's got tremendous quickness. He's got all the things you love in an athlete, except he's got to develop that work ethic on a regular basis in practice if he wants to be a great one.
That is Bearden picking up his second offensive foul. Bearden a little bit out of control as he went into the lane, so Coleman will start Syracuse back, leading by 23, just inside 10 minutes left in the game.
That's the one common denominator of all the great young players you see today. The Magic Johnsons, the Isaiah Thomases, the Michael Jordans. They played with intensity. You go into an arena and watch those guys practice. Every time they lace them up, they have so much pride in their talent and their ability.
Douglas against Bearden, 2 more, 24 points. One of the problems that Michael Jordan had earlier this year was he got angry at his coach and his teammates in practice. He was upset that the score was wrong in practice.
That shows you the competitor he is. You know, Douglas doesn't look pretty with his jump shot.
There's another rebound for Coleman. That's 14. Derek Coleman using those long arms and his good size to great advantage. Coleman looks inside to Brower. He turns it around,
nice
puts
move.
it up, and won't roll. Derek get it back. It's rebounded inside by number 55, Baker.
That was an excellent move by Brower from out of North Babylon. Good, quick move inside.
We've seen 2 or 3 of those. Here's Collins, baseline drive.
Eddie Collins with the strong baseline power move. UAB still my pick to really win the Sun Belt Conference. Jeff Mullen's doing a great job at University of North Carolina, Charlotte. And I still think this club is going to be an outstanding team at the end of the year. Once they get that rhythm and that combination.
Hareed takes it in, missed the shot. Hughes is going to pick up the foul as he battles Rembert. So for Keith Hughes, I've got 4.
When they see Billy Owens, when he arrives in the Carrier Dome, I watched him at the Nike All-American Camp where I had a chance to speak for Sonny Vaccaro and his people at the Nike camp. I'm going to tell you something. Out of Princeton, you're talking about a player in another world, John. He and Alonzo Mourning, I mentioned number 4 and number 5 in my rating of the classes, Syracuse and St. John's. Number 1 is Georgetown. There's Gene Bartow. He just wants to get out of here right now. But number 1 was Georgetown with Alonzo Mourning, who's the most gifted post player in terms of his defensive ability I have seen. But Billy Owens could be the coming of a great superstar, maybe one of the best of all time at Syracuse if he lives up to all of his ability.
Rembert is now 5 of 5 in the second half, and his team 9 of 9 at the line, but it really hasn't helped. It's been too much Syracuse.
Yeah, Rembert goes to that foul line. He's converting. He's very active also on that baseline.
That one won't go, and there's another rebound for Coleman.
He's putting big numbers on a board today. Derek Coleman. Get it to him.
Cycli is there. He's got it low against Org. It won't roll. Foul is inside underneath, I think, on Herman Hareed.
Alan Ogg really hasn't developed physically like I thought he would over the year. He's got a chance to play a lot last year. I thought he'd go into the weight room and really hit those weights and pump those weights. Peter Dursis, the fine assistant athletic director to Gene Bartow, he told me the kid really makes an attempt at it. For some reason, he just can't seem to build or put any kind of bulk or weight on. Number 53, Alan Ogg, 7'1".
Not a good shooting night for Cycli. He is 3 out of 7 from the field. He's made only 1 out of 4 in the second half.
Yeah, but his presence, he's really been a force here. Even though he hasn't scored, Big John, just his presence in the lane defensively has been really intimidation city for Syracuse.
We're going to shoot a lot of foul shots from here on out. Alan Ogg picks up his second.
Jimmy Boeheim, a former backcourt mate of David Bing. He threw the ball in bounds, and Bing said, "Get out of my way, Boeheim."
Ronnie Cycli goes to the line where he is 4 for 4. 12 of 20 on the season. Looking for his 11th point. It bends off. Ogg with the rebound.
Derek Coleman begging for the ball. He said, "Alan, give it to me." Good, tough man-to-man defense right now by Syracuse. They got to learn to play a little better from the help side and away from the ball. They do a good job pressuring the ball. They just a little help.
Baker to the baseline.
Oh, good hit.
Knocked away. Inside, Rembert had it stripped away by Ronnie Cycli.
Should have taken it right up to the goal. He made the great head fake. He froze Cycli, but then he just stood, didn't go back up with it.
So back again, it comes outside. Running the offense is Barry Bearden. Barry, the sophomore from Birmingham, has not scored.
Shoot it, Barry.
Tried to give it up. Coleman almost picked it off, but in the exchange, he is fouled, and it is Dylan Howard picking up his third. That will put Derek back to the line. Derek is 2 out of 6 at the foul line.
I gave my all-Ali team yesterday, guys that really talk about how good they are. They're cocky. They got that feeling of arrogance. We talked about Gary Grant, Fennis Dembo, Derek Chivas, Jerome Lane, and I had Derek Coleman in. And then I said, I don't know if Derek really belongs. I don't know if he really backs up how good he really is. But today he is backing it up. He is showing that he's got star quality right here this morning.
11 points, 15 rebounds for Coleman. The shootout record for rebounds is 19. That one won't roll. Beard comes up with it, so Bearden will start back.
From a motivational standpoint, think about it. You and I had to get here about 7:45 in the morning in the snow and ice, getting ready for the telecast. But I'll tell you, it's so dark anyway, it feels like it's a night game.
Howard between his legs, working hard against Hughes. Now he'll take the jump shot and hit. Rattles it in.
Dylan Howard.
His first basket of the game.
Well, he's an aggressive defensive player more than he's a scorer. 2-2-1 press.
70-49, a 21-point lead. The biggest lead has been 24. Threw it away.
You can't tell Howard his club is down right now by 21. He's diving on the floor. He's hustling and scrapping. Number 34, good effort from out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. Dylan Howard.
Could not come up with the ball. 7 minutes and 24 seconds left. Syracuse was up at halftime by 21. They still lead by that margin. We'll continue live from the 10th edition of the Great Alaska Shootout in Anchorage.
And happy holidays from Jacques, from Gus, and us.
Syracuse by 21 because the real Derek Coleman is playing out there today.
John, this is an area he has to really work on, playing defense. Here he is now, number 44. Now he's trying to be very active. Look at him, number 44, trying to deny the ball. Freeze it right there. Look at Derek in the denial. He sees ball, he sees man. You must see both. And now he's active. Now he's going to try and give some help. Rotates over, gives some help, shuts off the driving lane on Baker. Good job, Derek Coleman. I'm going to clap for you. Excellent, Derek Coleman defensively.
7:24 to play. Jim Boeheim's team up by 21 at the half. They are still ahead by that margin, even though the first 9 points of the second half were scored by the Blazers of UAB, but the mountain just a little too tall for them to scale.
Jimmy Boeheim is a very sensitive guy to criticism. We all are. We all. Let's face reality. None of us like to be criticized. And his argument is, I've been successful, and yet they still take shot after me. And it's really tough when you know you're doing a job and people keep, popping away at you. It's a very difficult situation for him.
Here's Coleman. He moved his feet. Could not decide exactly when he wanted to put the ball on the floor. He turns it over. So that is 14 turnovers for Syracuse. UAB has turned it over 16 times.
Walking violation by Mr. Coleman. He has a tendency to move that pivot foot. That's another area he has to really work on. The visibility that Syracuse gets because of the Big East and the Carrier Dome certainly puts Jimmy into the spotlight. And the way they win, they force many a game to become what is called the big game.
Hogg turns against Cycli. Gives it up to Turner. Turner to Baker. Back to Turner. Now Dylan Howard. Into the lane. Lost it. It was stripped away, and it was right into the hands of Coleman. Duncan now at the other end. Stripped away from Hareed, and Baker winds up with it. Neither team able to get off a shot. This guy will shoot from long range. It comes up a little short. Michael Charles has made only one of those three-pointers. Here's Duncan now back the other way. 6:27 left. 70-49. Syracuse comfortably in front. Cycli turns, loses the ball. On the break, Turner missed the shot. There's another rebound for Derek Coleman. And then he almost threw it away.
Play is really sloppy right now. Really sloppy on both ends. Here's Derek Coleman handling the ball like he did in the Motor City.
Kicked away. It is off the foot of Michael Charles and out of bounds. So Derek Coleman has worked up a good sweat standing right in front of us. Having a great ball game, closing in on the Alaska Shootout record for rebounds. Duncan spins away from pressure. Gives it up to Hareed. Now Earl will reset. 5:50 to play in the game. Hareed on a drive. He was fouled outside. Matt Rowe will check in. Foul is on Reginald Turner, the first on the junior from Birmingham. And Hareed will go to the line. Both teams are in the penalty situation. We'll shoot everything from here on out. Rembert checks back in.
Gee, I'm looking at UAB's schedule right now. They play Millsaps. It's probably a good little school. But is it anything to do with Ronnie Millsap?
Founded by Ronnie Millsap.
Back in the 50s again, that favorite song. I mean, is Gene Bartow going after a big C, a little cupcake win right there? I don't blame him. I played all kinds of cupcakes. Frida was all over my case yesterday. He said, Vital, if I hear one more word out of you about cupcakes, what about Oakland? What about Adrian? What about all those teams you played when you were at the University of Detroit? He's right. I wanted to win.
Reed got a great bounce on that one, and that is Herman's first point. Syracuse is 6 of 11 at the foul line in this half. UAB shooting 9 of 11 at the charity stripe, but it's still a big, big lead for Syracuse.
Syracuse has got to get some productive minutes ultimately in their run for the title in the Big East out of guys like Reed and Keith Hughes.
There's another rebound for Coleman. Rowe could not track it down, so Coleman continues to dominate the backboards here at the Great Alaska Shootout for his head coach, Jim Boeheim. And you know Jim likes to see him active and working hard because he can do the job on the boards. Again, Charles, this time he does roll it in.
Charles, a very streaky shooter, but a very important part of his basketball team. He's a swing player, plays a second guard. He can play some small forward, and he's a good athlete. He's probably their best all-around athlete.
Charles with 8 points, 2 of them on three-pointers. Rowe with some penetration. Nice left-hand shot by Matt Rowe. We don't see him do that very often.
Hey, Matt Rowe said, Dick Vitale, you talk about my shot. You talk about me being one-dimensional, shooting that stationary jump shot. What about this driving left-hand layup?
21-point lead with 5 minutes to play. Syracuse has led from the start. UAB has never been ahead. Most of the game, the Blazers down around the 30% mark in their shooting, and it's killed them. That's not 3, but it is 2. Charles again, he has 10.
There he goes. He's a streaky shooter. You know, if these guys played half as hard as Jimmy Boeheim played, he was a walk-on. But I heard from Jimmy Sadler. Good move by Hareed. Jimmy Sadler, the Duquesne coach who grew up in Syracuse, he said what an intense competitor Jimmy Boeheim was when he laced him up and played.
So Charles back once again against Duncan.
Good job by Duncan getting over the top of the screen. Very important to play over the top. See, now he's going to try and get over the top.
Rembert, turn around against Hareed. It's way too hard. Tipped up and ripped out of there by Rowe. He's got Hareed and Hughes. This is Hughes, who lost the ball between his legs, finds it, and was fouled.
Hareed and Hughes got some talent. They come off the bench. They're a little wild. They have to learn how to really play within the confines of the team concept. But remember, they come on a floor. They have to excel immediately because the first mistake, usually when you're a guy that's a 7th or 8th guy, you're going to go back to that sideline. There's Rowe kicking it off. There's the drive by Hughes. He loses his handle, but stays with it. Gets fouled.
The foul was on Baker. Hughes misses. And coming in, Hughes had not been doing that badly at the line. 3 out of 4 for the season. Misses his first chance here. Ogg left the lineup with some kind of an ankle injury, so Ogg is out of there. There's another rebound for Coleman. He is closing in now. He has 16 rebounds in the game.
I believe he had 18 against Indiana in that big game for the national championship.
Duncan to Hareed, who could not hang on. 3:52 to play. The lead 21 for Syracuse. That was the halftime lead. They'll make another substitution as Eric Rogers comes on the court. The 11th player, and they have some walk-ons who sometimes travel, sometimes don't, is a player by the name of Shandu Carey. He is a walk-on. But we have 3:52 left in the first game, day 2 of the 19th.
And for Michigan, number 41, 6'7" junior from Flint, Michigan, Glenn Rice. At the other forward, number 40 for UAB, 6'8" sophomore from Orrville, Alabama, Larry Remberg. And for the Wolverines, number 52, 6'9" sophomore from Romulus, Michigan, Terry Mills. At center for UAB, number 31, 6'8" senior from Marion Junction, Alabama, Eddie Collins. And for Michigan, number 55, 6'8" junior from Muskegon, Mark Hughes. Starting guards for UAB, number 3, 5'11" sophomore, Birmingham, Alabama, Barry Bearden. For Michigan, number 21, 6'2" from Cambridge, Massachusetts, Ramil Robinson. And for the Blazers, number 55, 6'7", junior, Benton, Illinois, Bruce Baker. And for the Wolverines, number 25, 6'3", senior from Canton, Ohio, Gary Grant. Head coach of the Blazers in his 10th year, Gene Bartow. For Michigan in his 8th year, Bill Frieder. Your officials, Delvis McCadden, Dick Ball, and Gary Speedall.
The winner finishes 3rd. The loser finishes 5th. We'll be back with the opening tip of the 10th annual Great Alaska Shootout from Anchorage in just a minute. This game, though, Dick and the keys for the Blazers.
Well, they're going to have to control Michigan's pressure defense. Michigan's going to go full court, apply a lot of pressure on the guards, and they have to contain Gary Grant. On the other side, Michigan to win's got to play an up-tempo game, and it starts with defense. And on the inside, they got to stop the power players, Eddie Collins and Rembert. Yesterday, Arizona did a great job changing defenses, and Michigan did not do a good job with its defense to create tempo. Steve Kerr handled it beautifully for Lute Olson's Arizona team.
Rice with the opening tip, looks low to Hughes, gets instead to Ramil Robinson. Back to the general, Gary Grant inside. Here's Rice. He's fouled from behind. He's fouled in front, actually, by Rembert. So Larry Rembert picks up his first personal foul, the game's first personal, and immediately Rice will go to the line. Rice in this tournament scored 27 on Friday, 15 on Saturday. He's averaging 18.5 points a game. He's a good-looking player.
Michigan looked awesome. They looked absolutely superb against Miami's basketball team from Florida. But yesterday, Lute Olson's team dominated in every phase of the game. They just took control of the game with their defense, great execution offensively. And now we look at a poor man's version of Bobby Knight with a sweater. Look at Bill Frieder. His wife bought him a sweater yesterday, even though he lost, and he's wearing a sweater a la the General Robert Knight.
Of course, Mr. Knight has a big game coming up with Mr. Phelps later this week.
That should be a good game Tuesday night. Notre Dame opens up with the Hoosiers at Bloomington.
There's a steal by Rice. They've got a 4-on-2. Hughes comes back to Mills.
Oh, great pass.
Robinson gets the basket and the foul.
That's the pressure we were talking about, John. They're going to use the whole 94 feet, attack and trap on a basketball. I think Michigan, and I spoke to Bill Frieder yesterday, we watched Terry Mills, an excellent passer for a 6'10 player. Throws the pass to a strong Ramil Robinson, taking it to the goal. But I talked to Frieda yesterday, and I just feel, looking at his basketball team, that they have to utilize the full court in transition, and that starts with good defensive pressure.
Robinson makes his first collegiate foul shot. He quickly has 3 points, and the lead is bangs him down. The lead is 4-0. The first 4 points belong to Michigan. Good pressure. Rembert gets it in the corner, brings it out. This is Bearden, who did not start either of the first 2 games. The starting center, Alan Ogg, is out of this one. He injured his ankle on Saturday. He's not even dressed for the game. Here's Collins. He's starting at center.
Gene Bartow's team's really searching for a backcourt. They're going to give this kid a real shot, Bearden.
Rembert, foul line jumper, bending off. Loose basketball controlled by UAB. Howard brings it out. He loses it. Hughes to Grant to
Nice
Rice.
pass. Nice pass. Excellent transition basketball. Gary Grant yesterday was completely controlled by Steve Kerr. Kerr was the better player for 40 minutes yesterday in that matchup against Arizona.
Over the head of Collins and out of bounds. So Dylan's pass a little bit too far. 3-point shots coming in. Michigan has hit 7 out of 19 in the tournament. A little better for UAB. They are 12 of 32. Their percentage is lower. They've taken more. Of course, they've been behind, too.
There's the zone defense right now by UAB, playing a 2-3 zone, and that's the big question for Michigan. Can they attack the zone?
Penetration by Grant, then to Robinson. Skips it over to Rice. Looks low. Hughes. Grant, top of the circle.
See, Mills has got to be a little bit more active offensively against the zone, John. He has a tendency to be a little stationary. And to attack a zone defense, you have to have some offensive play in the middle of the floor. Look at Bill Frieda wearing a sweater, wearing the towel over on top.
So he's got the John Thompson, Bobby Knight look combined, right? UAB with 3 turnovers. That was the first for Michigan.
Man-to-man defense by Michigan, trying to deny on the wings, putting pressure on the ball.
Baker's got good size for a guard. He's 6'7". Collins from outside. It's too hard. Mills with a rebound. Grant will set it up. 17:56 to play first half. The first 6 points belong to Michigan.
Gary Grant was 3 for 14 yesterday. Not a typical vintage Gary Grant performance.
Robinson has it taken away by Baker. Dylan Howard fouled from behind by Robinson, who was trying to make up for his mistake.
Howard's an aggressive player, a good solid rebounder, a good defender, but is really not an offensively skilled player. But they're playing him because they need that kind of role player on the floor. Two players that Gene Bartow has on the sideline who I think are vital to the success of their program, Michael Charles and Reginald Turner.
Turner had started the first two games, did not start this afternoon. Danny James has been the starter at guard. He turns that job over to Bearden for the third game of the young season. This is Bearden. Baker looks to Rembert, but he's fronted well by Hughes. Turner way outside. Now Howard tries to move it in against Rice. Rembert with penetration down the lane and in.
That's a great move, John. Really an explosive first step. Larry Rembert, certainly one of America's premier high school players when he came out of Keith High School out in Alabama.
That gets the Blazers on the board. It's 6-2 with 17:05 left first half. Rice is way out at the top of the circle. He can shoot the three-point shot. He's attempted 5 in this tournament, hit a couple.
UAB playing man-to-man defense right now.
Swing it to Rice. Jumper too hard. Hughes high for the rebound. The follow shot bending off. And the foul from behind, I think it's going to go on number 33, it looks like.
There's Gene Bartow, very active on the sideline. What a career he has had. A brilliant career in 10 years at UAB. 7 consecutive NCAA birds. Tying, as we watch right now, there goes the ball off the offensive boards. He wants a foul over the top.
Tip try no good. Rembert can't get the rebound because it's brought out of there by Rice. Hands to Grant. Swings it to Robinson. Now Rice. Skip to Robinson. Backs out, resets.
See, it's like a zone they're playing, like a matchup. They got some zone principles to their man-to-man.
Intended for Hughes and thrown instead to Howard.
Looks like a combination defense, man-to-man in zone.
Howard, top of the circle jumper, too hard. Nice rebound, Rumio Robinson.
He's got great vertical leap. He's spinning, a strong player.
Great shot by Robinson.
Came out of Ridge Latin High School, produced Patrick Ewing out of Cambridge, Massachusetts. Wanted by everyone. Sat last year out. It's been documented and will be a solid contributor for Michigan's basketball program.
Baker almost lost it to Robinson. 15:50 to play first half. 8-2, a 6-point lead. Rembert from the side, and Larry has both baskets so far for the Blazers.
I'm a big fan of Larry Rembert. I think he has potential to be a star with a capital S.
Rumio Robinson will bring it up. Biggest lead has been 6 by Michigan. UAB has never been ahead. Grant drops it from Mills. It's blocked from behind. Rembert has it. It was knocked away by Turner that time.
Terry Mills was a little bit slow in exploding to the basket.
And at the other end, Turner turns it over. That's 4 turnovers for UAB, 3 for Michigan. We have 15 minutes and 21 seconds left. We're still in the first half. It's the consolation game of the 1987 Great Alaska Shootout of Michigan with the lead and the basketball. Mills way outside, faces up. Now to Grant.
See, right now, Terry Mills has to learn how to be active. He has to move without the ball. He's got to flash, run what we call V-cuts, duck moves in the lane.
Hughes to Mills. Up, a little bit too hard, tipped out, controlled by Rice.
See, some good things will happen when Terry Mills gets the ball on the interior against the zone.
Here's Grant. There's Mills. Baseline stripped away and knocked out of bounds that time. It was stripped away by Charles, who's now on the lineup. Michael Charles, number 24. He loves to shoot the long-range shot. He's 5 of 11 from three-point territory. He's in there for the first time this afternoon. Knocked away by Bearden. Back come the Blazers. They've got a 3-on-1. Baker drops it off, and the shot is missed. Turner, though, with a rebound. Rembert missed the layup, backs it out now to Charles.
It was a great pass by Bearden. Drove the bounce pass, spiked it to Baker, but they came up without the deuce.
Now Charles. Inside Turner, baseline, tried to feed it to the other side. It was knocked away by Michigan. Tried to go to Rembert, and another substitution checking into the lineup. Michigan will have a change in the lineup. Loy Vaught, the junior from Grand Rapids, 6'9".
He's a great jumper. He's got great legs, tremendous bounce off the floor. See, when you watch an Arizona play, they got tremendous rhythm and timing in their offensive sets. And right now, both these clubs, because they're a little bit inexperienced at certain positions, don't have the kind of rhythm that an Arizona has. And that means good shot selection, and good shot selection means high field goal percentage efficiency, and that wins ball games.
Grant to the baseline, reverses to Robinson.
Playing his own defense right now. Looks like a 2-3. Trying to match up on the wings.
Hughes drops it inside. Vaught double teamed along the baseline. No place to go. Tries to back out. Hooks it to Rice. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Robinson baseline hanging, rolling off. Ripper with a rebound.
Tremendous athletic ability right there. The great agility and balance by Ramil Robinson.
Bearden picked up by Robinson. 13:33 to play first half. Drops it for Baker. Almost a turnover. Baker. Turner with the turnaround. Good.
Reginald Turner started the last 8 games last year. Sparked them against Western Kentucky when they won the Sun Belt Championship. Beat a very good basketball team in Western Kentucky to go to the NCAAs for the 7th consecutive year.
13th point in the tournament for Turner. His first of the game. Hughes fronts the basket. Rice holds it high. They skip it across to Grant. A three-pointer is good. Gary Grant knocks home his first three-pointer of the ball game. He is now 3 for 8 from that range so far.
That was an excellent pass, the diagonal pass right over the top of the zone. They're playing the big kid, Baker, out in front at 6'6".
A 5-point lead for Michigan. They have been up by as many as 6. Baker outside to Michael Charles. Bearden now against Robinson. Penetrates in the lane. Jump shot is short. Missed everything.
He's playing without any confidence, John. They're trying to hand him the starting job.
Ripper to steal. Now Bearden. It's a 3-on-2. Bearden pushes it into the lane. Goes to Baker. Baker to Charles. Baker's jumper from the side. Good. Baker with his first basket of the ball game. So Bruce, who has 13 in the tournament, gets 2 here.
He's an excellent shooter. He's got great rotation, good follow through.
Knocked away by Rimbert. Charles can't save it. Michigan keeps.
I think the scouting report's going to be sent out immediately on Michigan. 1, take them away from their transition game. 2, zone them and make them play on a perimeter, because if you do those 2 things, you got a shot to neutralize their great overall personnel.
Mills back in, Hughes out. Vaught is still in there. That's the change in the starting group. Vaught, the 1 addition. Robinson, jumper off the lane is good. Robinson, a big first half now. He has 7 points. That is his collegiate high. He had 6 in each of the first 2 games.
He's going to be a solid player. In fact, some NBA scouts believe that Michigan ultimately will have 5 potential NBA first-rounders with Robinson and also Sean Higgins, who has a world of talent, and we know about Grant, Rice, and Mills.
Robinson has picked up his 2nd personal foul. That'll bring the freshman off the bench, Sean Higgins. So Higgins, number 24, takes Robinson's place in the lineup for the Wolverines. There is Sean Higgins, an outstanding recruit, a freshman from Los Angeles, 6'9", 195 pounds.
He came from out of Fairfax High School. Really D's up, playing a lot tougher defensively. I was telling Sonny Vaccaro, a good friend and Nike consultant who ran the Nike basketball camp, he asked about Higgins, and I told him today he's really working on a defensive
Good move
end.
by Turner, but he missed the shot. Vaught with a rebound. Back come the Wolverines. It'll be Grant to Mills, knocked away. It was touched last by Rimbert, and Michigan will keep it, leading 13-8 with 11:38 to play first half.
Sean Higgins came from a great high school basketball team last year with a kid by the name of Chris Mills. Mills is heading down to Kentucky along with Sean Kemp. Eddie Sutton's getting so many thoroughbreds, he's going to have more than Secretariat, Seattle Slew, and all the other great racehorses in Lexington.
Atlas Transmission on the Bessemer Superhighway makes transmission repair affordable. Don't be misled by those expensive chains. You can save hundreds by letting Atlas rebuild your transmission for only $295 for most cars. And all Atlas work is guaranteed. We specialize in overdrive and front-wheel drive transmissions, and 90 days are the same
We're
as...
showing right here. Look at Vaught. 35, we got Hughes 55 and Rice 41. So congested, so difficult to make the play on the interior. Not a good pass. Rice is not an excellent passer. He's a shooter, he's a good rebounder, but he has to work on his passing skills. And Rembert came up with a good defensive play. Spacing is so important to offensive efficiency. You must be 15 to 17 feet apart to avoid the congestion and avoid the double teams.
Robinson's done most of the offensive work for Michigan. He is 3 out of 4 from the field. Mills is 0 for 4, 8-4, the rebounding edge for Michigan. Right now, with 11:38 to play first half, the Wolverines have the ball. Grant to Sean Higgins, the freshman. Vaught low along the baseline. Turnaround is good. That's the biggest lead of the ball game.
That was excellent execution. They reversed the basketball, had the good angle on the entry, and got it into the gut of the defense, which will free up some good wing shots eventually for Rice and also Grant.
Larry Wixel with the basketball is chicked into the UAB lineup. Now Charles, top of the circle against the freshman Higgins.
Charles, a good athlete, the best athlete they have. Wixell's a good long-range shooter. Didn't miss a shot in the first game against Southwest Texas.
Charles outside. Higgins all over him. Rembert works the baseline up and in.
Poor defense right there by Terry Mills. He was caught standing, did not move his feet at all. Poor foot movement. Excellent play by Larry Rembert.
Grant off the lane. Jump shot is going to be short. It is chased down by Higgins. Behind the back along the baseline. Mills, who drops it for Rice.
Did he walk? I'll ask you, did he walk? It was a little showtime by Sean Higgins, a little behind-the-back pass on a baseline. If that goes out of bounds, he becomes an assistant coach and gets BT, bench time.
17-10, 10:30 to play first half. It has been all Michigan so far. They have led from the opening part of the game. And a blocking foul.
I'm really impressed with the way Higgins is trying to work on a defensive end, especially playing the man with the ball. Where most young kids have a dilemma and a problem, John, is playing the guy away from the ball, playing off the ball. They get caught staring at the ball many a time and get bumped on a back screen for layups.
Grant looks low, now decides to shoot. It'll be short. A foul underneath. The foul is called on Lloyd Vaught. Trying to get position. Vaught had the rebound, but he had moved some people out of the way to get it.
Talk about the Big Ten. Illinois was beaten by Rolly Massimino and Villanova. Another great win for the Big East. And P.J. Carlissimo's done a great job with Seton Hall. Lost a heartbreaker in the NIT to Norm Sloan in Florida. Congratulations, Norman, winning the NIT.
But don't you think that Seton Hall's going to have to get a little recognition now? They played well in that tournament. Charles, baseline drive, draws the foul, did not get the basket.
Charles, very quick first step, left-hander, drives the baseline. He's a quick player. He'll play 35 minutes a game for Gene Bartow.
The foul will be on the freshman, Sean Higgins.
There we take a look right there. He beats Higgins to the goal. Michigan comes over, rotates Mills over for some help. See, Higgins got beat there on the first step. He's got to be able to move laterally and shut down the baseline drive.
So at the line, it'll be Michael Charles, who in the first two games of the season is 6 for 8.
You know, you mentioned Seton Hall, John. You asked me, do I think they'll be very competitive? Definitely. I think Seton Hall, they beat Georgetown last year twice. I believe P.J. Carlissimo's team is coming of age, and I think this is the year that they're going to really challenge some of the big boys up on top, especially at home. Florida with Shinzius and Livingston Chapman. What a performer he's been as a freshman for Norm Sloan.
17-12. Higgins, top of the circle. Rice with a jump shot from the side. It is nothing but net for Glenn Rice. He leads the scoring with 7. So does Robinson have 7 for Michigan.
That's why the pro scouts love him. George Irvin was talking to me a moment ago from the Indiana Pacers, and he just loves Glenn Rice. I want to say, by the way, best wishes for a speedy recovery to George's mom. She's ill, and she's up in Seattle, Washington. George sends his love.
Wixell outside. Inside 10 minutes now. There's 9:20 left. Rembert flipped away from him by Vaught, and he touched it last. Turnover. So back it goes the other way. That's 7 turnovers by UAB, 5 for Michigan. We have some more changes. Robinson coming back in, along with Mike Griffin, a junior from Rosemont. Mike gets a lot of playing time with this ball club.
Well, he does the intangibles on a floor. He doesn't have the spectacular talent of guys like Rice and Mills and Grant, but he's what we call, using that old term, a role player.
Baseline jumper, Rice rattles out, tipped up, and put back in by Vaught. Lloyd Vaught kept it alive and then laid it in. 4 points for Vaught.
He's a solid player coming off the bench. You know, for all the Michigan fans getting a little bit nervous with them getting beat yesterday by a good Arizona team. 2 years ago, they lost their first game at home in the Big Ten to Indiana. They were blown out. Then they were 1-2 and then won 15 in a row with Roy Tarpley and won the Big Ten championship. This team will get better and better as the year progresses.
Wixell at the top. Michael Charles against the freshman Higgins. Backs away. Turner in the corner. Rice has him. Inside to Rembert. Vaught trying to push him away from the baseline. The basket will count, and the foul is caught. Vaught will get the foul. And the basket for Rembert will be his 8th point of the first half. He leads all scorers.
He's a strong player, John. Good-looking player. I really love his strength to his body, and he knows how to take the ball with authority to the basket. Watch him inside right here. He's got that quick move, gets around the baseline. See, Michigan stares a lot on defense. Right there's another example that they do not rotate defensively to close off driving lanes. The people in help position must step in and close that lane.
Rembert is 4 out of 6 from the field. He has 9 points. Michigan on the violation on the inbounds pass That is a mistake of experience, and it's something the Michigan's going to have to grow from. That's what happened to him against Arizona. The Arizona team was too experienced for him.
Wasn't even a contest. 15 points is really nowhere indicative of how much they dominated the game, Arizona.
Charles now resets the offense. 8 minutes, 13 seconds left first half. 21-16 the score. It's a 6-point edge right now for Michigan. Collins off the lane, fouled by Griffin.
See, both UAB and also Arizona have really slowed up the pace of the game against Michigan. And when Michigan can play at an up-tempo, they have that NBA-style offense that they really fill lanes, run exceptionally well. But that's going to be keyed by some good defensive pressure and force the turnovers to get you running up and down the floor.
Hughes will check back in. Loy Vaught leaves the lineup. Vaught with 2 baskets during the time that he's in there. Hughes has not scored. Over the top they go. Off the glass too hard. Right there for the rebound is Hughes. Along the baseline. Rice. And he got fouled.
Glenn Rice with an acrobatic move, but Michigan ran the ball up the court quickly. Sean Higgins pushed it up the floor at 6'8.5", and Rice finalized it. There's the pass by Higgins. Here comes Rice along the baseline, squares his body, gets on inside position. He played with Jeff Grayer, who Bill Frieda was telling me earlier today that he wanted badly but was not interested in coming to Michigan, who's starring for Iowa State, and Johnny Orr had another big day yesterday in beating New Mexico.
Rice at the line has 9 points. He is the first player in the game to reach double figures. 2 out of 3 at the foul line for him. We have 7 minutes and 51 seconds left in the first half. This is the game for 3rd place at the Great Alaska Shootout. Right now, it's Michigan winning by 9 here in Anchorage, Alaska.
Well?
They want an answer next week. The money's right, department head, everything.
Terrific.
There is one thing. The company car, it wouldn't be a Taurus.
Oh. Well, better offer will come along.
Ford Taurus, advanced design that's designed to reward you.
Now, during Ford's Leadership Celebration, get a $600 cash bonus on Taurus.
We're not a company, but outstanding people come to us every day. People who want to make a contribution to a team and do work that really counts. People eager to see new places, do the unusual, and find the unusual. People who become your friends for life. People just like you. We're not a company. We're your country. We're the Navy, the Air Force.
11-4 over the Blazers so far, and 6 of those rebounds for Michigan, offensive rebounds. They break the pressure. Charles into forecourt. Collins off the lane, up off the glass too hard. Higgins couldn't get it. Robinson does. Ramil Robinson tried to drop it to Higgins. He has to chase it down. He's bumped and fouled.
John, the one thing the full court pressure did right there, they did a good job, UAB, attacking it. They posted a guy in the middle of the floor. They created numbers. But what it did and what Michigan wants it to do, it created an up-tempo style. And Michigan got up and down and ran. Unfortunately, they didn't come up with a layup, but they did get fouled.
Championship game is Arizona and Syracuse tomorrow here in Anchorage, the 10th anniversary of the Great Alaska Shootout. Certainly one of the premier early season college basketball events.
Just like the Big Apple in New York is becoming a real big-time event, and also the one in Hawaii, the Maui Classic.
Robinson fouled by Turner. So Ramil Robinson will go to the line where he is 1 for 1 so far this afternoon.
When he came out of high school, we talked about it the other day, he and Rex Chapman were certainly heralded as the best 2 guards in America. You talk about Kentucky, they got a dynamite backcourt with Eddie Davender from boys and girls high. In fact, I'd have to say right now, my rating system, that Kentucky has the best backcourt in the nation with Chapman and Davender.
Too hard. Michael Charles has it. Speaking of your rating system, the AP rankings are due to be turned out. You and I are both voters in that poll, so we'll find out how we fare tomorrow when the poll is announced.
Well, there's really nobody out there that jumps at you number 1. I guess you got to put North Carolina in there, but they struggled with George Raveling's USC team, who then they were blown out yesterday by Boston University, the Trojans of Southern Cal.
20 seconds on the shot clock, 6:57 to play first half. Charles to Turner. Passes up a shot.
They got to put pressure on the ball. They got to be in good help position.
Now 7 seconds on the shot clock. Low to Collins against Hughes. Up. He is fouled from behind. The basket does not go. Griffin picks up his second foul, but he'll put Hughes on, or rather Turner on the line.
Gene Bartow wants them to go inside to Eddie Collins. Collins could also shoot the three-point play. He posts up real strong in there. Now he head fakes about 3-4 times, and then he splits the defense, takes it up, and gets fouled on a play. He's a big horse who's going to be an effective player in a Sun Belt conference.
Collins, not Turner. Collins scored 16 points on Friday, 13 points in the loss on Saturday. So he's averaging 14.5 a game. At the line, he is 8 of 11 coming into this contest.
Virginia Commonwealth's an improved team in the Sun Belt, and also the University of North Carolina Charlotte with Jeff Mullins. And Old Dominion should be an improved team with Tom Young, some experience back, and they can create some problems. But I'll stay with UAB as my choice by the end of the year, John. Gene Bartow's a master at getting his teams ready to play in February, March, when it really starts to count.
The Blazers with pressure this time. Higgins with a turnaround. It's too hard. Rempert rips down the rebound. 6:27 to play. It's 24-17, a 7-point lead for Michigan. They've been up by as many as 9. UAB has never been ahead in the game thus far. Wixel for 3, too hard. Collins tries to get the rebound, tipped away that time by Higgins, into the hand of Hughes, and he's found by Wixel.
Gary Grant's been really silenced in this game also. We haven't been able to call his name a great deal. Maybe his confidence a little shattered after the performance by Steve Kerr. He and Kerr were getting into all kinds of screaming matches with each other yesterday on the floor. There was a lot of talking going on. Kerr saying, hey, Grant, you may be an All-American, but you're nothing to me. And they were going at it. It was quoted today in the paper all about that. And there's Bill Frieda with his sweater. Bobby Knight Jr.
Hughes at the line, 5 of 7 in the first 2 games. That's a nice touch for a big man. He's 6'8", 235, a junior. He's from Muskegon. Boy, this is a very, very good team, and most of them are coming back. You will not see the general again, Grant, and some other players are seniors, but they don't see much action. Most of this team will be back again. Nice rebound out of there by Eddie Collins. So it's 25-17, an 8-point lead with just under 6 minutes to play first half. Turner way outside. Charles gets it to Collins. Rice lost him, but in the process, Collins lost the ball.
You got to learn how to catch the ball also with your eyes, John, as well as your hands. It's very important that you have real good mental concentration, and your hand-eye coordination is so essential to be an effective post player.
UAB has gone almost 3 minutes now without making a field goal, and checking in is Curtis Bailey, number 12. Collins will sit down. Keep in mind, they do not have Alan Ogg. He suffered an ankle injury on Saturday. Rice has had a good start to this ball game. He has 10 points to lead all scorers. Higgins.
He's a good-looking offensive player. He's got the whole package offensively. He can pass it, he can drive with it, and he can shoot it.
Now the lead is 10, biggest it has been. It's 27-17 at the 5:25 mark.
He's got a lot.
Comes back to Charles.
John, excuse me. He's got a lot of the offensive ability of Reggie Miller, former UCLA superstar, now excelling in the NBA.
Threw it away, intended for Charles, but Turner's pass was too far. That's 9 turnovers for UAB. 3 more than Michigan at this point. 5:12 to play first half, and back in the lineup once again is Dylan Howard, the junior from Fort Wayne who started the game. Checks back in, and Turner will sit down.
Howard comes in to give him some defensive strength along that front line. Now they're back in that zone, 2-3 zone.
Robinson, they leave him alone out front.
Can't give up that dribble like he did right there. He's got to keep his dribble.
5 minutes to play first half. Grant with some penetration goes to Robinson. In the lane to Mills, wide open for the short jumper.
That's his first basket, isn't it?
It is his first jumper. He's averaging 20 points a game. Now he has 2 in this one.
That was good execution, though. They penetrated. They really went into the gap of the zone and got the ball to Mills for the high percentage shot.
Robinson has just picked up his 3rd personal foul. It's now been almost 4 minutes, just short of 4 minutes since UAB has scored a basket. A real drought for UAB. They've fallen 12 points behind. You go into a 4 or 5 minute non-scoring slump against Michigan, and you're going to be in trouble. Michigan, for example, has outscored them 8-2 in this run.
Look at Larry Rembert. He's being a little frustrated here, number 40. He's a little frustrated, puts his hands up. Gee whiz, get me the ball.
Charles will be at the line. Michael 2 of 2 tonight, or this afternoon, rather.
They need Michael Charles, an outstanding performance from him all year if they're going to be on top in that Sun Belt championship.
Hometown product. He's from Birmingham, a senior. 4 for 4 at the line, but he has not made a field goal so far. 4:39 to play first half. Long lead passes knocked away, but right to Vaught, who slams it home.
He's got the explosive legs. He's a high wire act. He can really fly. They're going to love him up at Chrysler.
Vaught is 3 for 3. 4:31 to play first half. Back we go once again to the 12-point lead at 31-19.
Can't teach that, John. That kind of athletic ability, you're not teaching it. They possess tremendous talent, Michigan.
Knocked away from Witzel. Charles with it. Rembert down the lane, missed the shot. They still have not made a field goal in over 4 minutes. Witzel for 3. It is short. And Witzel picks up the foul. Second time that he's missed a three-pointer, then come right back and picked up a personal foul.
You know, Michigan's going to have a lot of showtime within the next month or so, John. You ready for this? Right after they leave this tournament, they have Bowling Green, Central Michigan, Western Michigan. Austin Peay was beaten by 20 yesterday by Evansville. They have Eastern Michigan, Northern Michigan, Grambling State. Then they go to South Florida with teams like South Florida, Florida International, and Clemson. The way I look at it, at worst, Michigan comes back into the Big Ten, 9-2, but maybe 10-1 when they head to Northwestern on January 6th.
Vaught has just picked up his third personal foul. Higgins missed his first collegiate foul shot.
I guess Bill Frieda's getting what I was teasing him. I said, turkey, 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 gobble it up right after Thanksgiving. Get those W's.
Guess there is some leftover turkey, huh?
But you know what? That's really great for these kids in a way because they're such a new blend of talent that they'll get a lot of confidence, and it should get them ready to roll at Big Ten time where they'll have a legitimate chance to win the Big Ten along with Indiana. The Hoosiers are going to be very good again. Bobby Knight's basketball team Tuesday in a big matchup with the Fighting Irish of Digger Phelps and Notre Dame.
Rembert's second opportunity from the line curls in. The sophomore from Orrville, Alabama, has 10. UAB has not missed at the line. They are 8 of 8. They haven't made any field goals. That's the problem. The last field goal they made was at the 8:22 mark.
Michigan played better defensively, really starting to close off lanes, and that's really hurt UAB.
First miss for UAB. The general, Gary Grant, to Rice from long range. Rice bangs it home. The junior has a dozen so far here in the first half, averaging 18.5 points a game. Game 3 for both teams, and both teams are 1-1 here in the Great Alaska Shootout.
Michigan with a lot of size on the floor right now, playing Griffin at the big guard slot.
Double team almost got the turnover. UAB will keep it with 3:40 to play first half. Grant and Mills with the double team, and we'll have a timeout. 3 minutes and 40 seconds remain. The winner of this game finishes third. The loser will wind up fifth in the 19th.